Texans is Mrs. Rita Graves. Houston Lamar's coached by Coach Michael Lindsay. Lamar.
Hi, everybody, and welcome inside FBISD Legacy Stadium. This is Vype, FortBend.com. I'm Roger Smith, here to bring you the game between the Ridgepoint Panthers and the Lamar Texans in the second round of the Texas High School Football Playoffs. Patrick Kinnick will join me shortly, and we got on a little bit later than we had anticipated, so we're going to have to hurry up with the Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show. Our coverage is brought to you by First Tire and Automotive, Xfinity Mobile, the best kept secret in wireless, by Next Level Urgent Care, Archer Volkswagen, the Needville Insurance Agency, and of course, Equitable Advisors. We'll be right back with our visit with Mike Lindsay, the head coach of the Lamar Texans, when we continue on VypeFortBend.com. Equitable Advisors financial professionals know the path to a fulfilling future begins with getting to know who you are and what matters to you most. They work with people as individuals. That's how they deliver on their mission, just like Nick Arevalo, CFP. Talk to your local Equitable Advisor financial professional at 281-712-8777 or visit nickarevalo.com. That's NICKAREVALO.com. Together, you and my friend Nick can plan a future that reflects all of who you are. Equitable Advisors, LLC, New York, New York, member FINRA SIPC, investment advisory through Equitable Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. CFP is a certification mark owned by the Certified Financial Planner Board of Standards, Incorporated. This mark is awarded to individuals who successfully complete the CFP Board's initial and ongoing certification requirements. Welcome, everybody, to the Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show, and welcome to the second round of the playoffs. It's a couple of teams that don't meet very often, but every time they do, it's a great matchup. Lamar against Ridgepoint, and it's time to talk to Mike Lindsay, head coach of the Texans. And Coach Lindsay, what's a great way to summarize the way your team got here and came in as undefeated district champions? You're kind of like Ridgepoint, had a little struggle in the pre-district, but once you got in district, you did nothing but win.
Yeah, we've improved every week of this season, and I think we're playing our best ball right now, so that's really encouraging. And yeah, we're similar to Ridgepoint with the same record and kind of coming in here hot, so we're ready to go.
I know one thing about these games, I try to stick mostly with conversations about what's going to happen on the field tonight, but I can't help but remember the game when Lamar defeated Ridgepoint 36-29, and you told me before we started talking here on the air that you had left Lamar for a couple of seasons out of state. You came back in time for that 2017 season, and I'm thinking Cook and Jameson. That's what I remember.
Absolutely. That was a war. You know, it was here, same stadium here in Legacy. It's a great game. You know, both teams were great teams that year, and we had a battle, and probably going to get another one tonight.
And for those who don't remember, it was Anthony Cook and Deshaun Jameson who were great defensive backs on that Lamar team, and I think they were just so good. They thwarted a couple of Ridgepoint drives, and that really made the difference in a very close game. So who are the difference makers for your team this year, and who has to have a good game tonight for your team to get to round three?
Well, offensively, our quarterback, Kenneth Rosenthal, has been our most valuable player on our team, and he's done it throwing the ball and running the ball. He's made great decisions. So we need him to, again, be the focal point and making decisions, getting the ball out where it needs to go, and also making the key plays at the key moments. And also, wide receiver Tristan Brown has been our most explosive playmaker. He's had an amazing season, and so we're looking to get him the ball tonight. Defensively, it's Carson Skotak, who's our inside linebacker, and he's our captain of the defense, and he plays sideline to sideline. He's a high motor guy, and so we're looking forward to him having a big game, leading the energy of the group and really getting after it.
Ridgepoint feels like they have a pretty good defense, based on your scouting of Ridgepoint and what you saw of all your team's other opponents. Is Ridgepoint perhaps as good a defense as they have seen this year?
Yeah, that's possibly the case. They're very good. They're very fast. They're big. They don't have many weaknesses. They cover well. They play hard against the run, and they they bring pressure. So they present lots of challenges, but we're excited for the challenge.
All right, and we're also excited. Great weather here tonight. I know a lot of people who were going to play a playoff game tomorrow decided to bump it back to Friday, but we're just glad that we got the good time, great surface. I think it's going to be a great ball game.
Absolutely. We're thankful for that. It's a lot better than last Friday. Hopefully the rain will wait till after the game, and excited to be here.
I had forgotten about last week until you mentioned it, and now I'm starting to tremble a little bit. I stopped shivering, I think, on Wednesday. That's Mike Lindsay. He's the head coach of Lamar. We thank you for being with us on the Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
This is VypeFortBend.com, and we will have trash-talking cheerleaders for you here in a moment. And then we will talk to Rick Lefevre, head coach of the Panthers, as we get this second-round playoff game underway at the top of the hour. You're listening to VypeFortBend.com. We are your broadcast home for Fort Bend County High School sports. Glad you're with us. And next week, there's the possibility we'll have Ridgepoint active, maybe Hightower, maybe Marshall, and also the Fulshire Chargers, all of them going for second round wins tonight. I'm Roger Smith. Patrick Kinnick will join me shortly. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
Welcome back, everybody, to KDISD Legacy Stadium and the Countdown to Kickoff show. We've got Ridgepoint and Lamar coming up at straight up 7, and here to introduce himself and the rest of our officiating crew is tonight's referee.
Thank you. I'm Mike Walzell. I'm the referee tonight. My umpire is Ron Isbell. Head linesman, Stephen Hallmark. The line judge tonight is Shane Morgan. Our field judge is Eric Gardner. Back judge is Jason Johnson. And our side judge is Mark Bender.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Walzell. Appreciate you joining us, and thank you for being here, because you can't have a game without officials, and hope everything goes well. I know we got a little rain, but I know you and your crew have battled through it before. Thanks for being with us, and good luck.
Thanks.
And we'll be back with Coach Lefevre shortly here on the Countdown to Kickoff show. This is the Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show, and we're VypeFortBend.com.
Next Level Urgent Care supports Fort Bend County sports and supports you whenever you're hurting. Next Level is here for the community, open 7 days a week, 9 till 9, for you and your family at more than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugar Land, Sienna, Greatwood, Longmeadow, and 4 in Katy. From ow to wow, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. And if you're short on time, Next Level has an app to get you in line right away. Just text NLUC APP to 313131 for Next Level Urgent Care.
First Tire and Automotive heard you were starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $20 off brake pad service. Since you will be traveling more, check out the Back on the Road fluid check specials and tire specials. Yes, First Tire and Automotive has those too. Your holiday savings start now. Check out the website firsttireandauto.com for details and to book your appointment today. First Tire and Automotive with 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show. Very sorry we didn't have time for trash-talking cheerleaders, but it's a little bit tougher to get to KDISD Legacy Stadium. Rick Lefevre is visiting with us, and as you go into this matchup against Lamar, I know that even though they come out of a district that really didn't have too many people to compete with them, they give you some real matchup headaches, don't they?
Absolutely. They're very explosive and fast. Good at the line of scrimmage. They got a QB that kind of reminds you a little bit of BJ, just with his height, and he can run and sling it. So, regardless of the district, they still beat the people they're supposed to beat, and have been playing really confident right now and been on a good win streak. And so we got our hands full, no doubt.
Well, one thing that I'm going to ask you about, I think, is really most important to people 35 and over. I don't know that the teenagers care that much, but you've had some recognition on the local television stations and an honor for Austin Carlisle, and what's that like?
Just, proud, testament to his teammates and how they've all played a part in that. Testament to him, although he's a sophomore, like I said in the interview, the bigger the moment, the bigger he performs, and just really proud of him, and to see his growth from week one back in fall camp, to now, and really kind of taking over the team and being a great leader for us. Just excited for him.
And I'm really thinking back on all the quarterbacks that I've seen. I don't know that I've seen someone really take the reins during a season and just ramp up the improvement every single week. It's really been amazing.
It gets thrown around a lot, but the kind of the it factor, he definitely has whatever it is, and a lot of moxie, and nothing really phases him. He's just at that position, he's got everything you want. So.
By the way, the old pro Matt Musel does such a great job with high school sports, including Chevy Inside High School Sports. But did anybody notice that they called Mason Dossett Brian Dossett?
No, I didn't notice that. Okay, no, I'll tell Mason after the game that he got his name messed up.
And maybe I remember a line from the movie American Beauty. Something tells me this time you'll remember my name. So if Mason can do something tonight that can make the difference in it.
On Mr. Musel there. But that's, we definitely want to get the ball in his hands. Mason can do a lot of things. So he's a tremendous weapon for us.
We appreciate the visit as always. Good luck tonight, and hopefully talking next week prior to the next game against whomever. We'll be back.
Amen. Thank you. Appreciate it.
That is the Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show. And looking at the skies, there seems to be a little bit of precipitation still coming down, but hopefully not too heavy, and maybe it'll stop altogether. At least it won't be like last week. Or will it? We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
Hey, Fort Bend County fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance Agency.
Bradley is my insurance man. He can save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every year on your car insurance, home insurance, or flood insurance, or all three like he did for me. And Bradley, you are as Fort Bend County as they come, right?
That's right, fourth generation here in the Needville area in Fort Bend County, taking care of folks over here for over 100 years here in Fort Bend County.
You can give him a call, you can go online, or he'll even come see you at the Needville Insurance Agency. Give him the number, Bradley.
979-793-7411.
My husband and I live next door to a haunted graveyard. It's a little creepy, but we manage. Just like we manage without home internet. Do I wish my mobile hotspot was faster? Yes, but I make it work. Kinda. Just like we make it work sleeping next to a 17th century burial ground.
Honey, can you move your hand?
That's not my hand.
It's mine.
Not having home internet? It's not that bad. Grab my hand.
Wait, okay.
No, now up the stairs. We tried that last time. You can literally run through him.
It is that bad. Don't settle for just mobile. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $24.99 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and a free streaming box included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit your local Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Offer ends 12/21/22.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn with Horn Solutions. We agree with energy analysts that the energy market has stabilized. We anticipate significant merger and acquisition activity. Good resources are scarce. Horn Solutions is positioned to assist you in accounting, finance, IT, and supply chain. Our staff can assist you with outsourcing, or we can supply you with resources to join your staff. Visit hornsolutions.net for details.
Gary Horn is a highly successful businessman who has made a huge impact in people's lives, and he loves what he does for a living. That's a big reason why Gary Horn and Horn Solutions support Get a Great Gig. Get a Great Gig is a free job search consultation service that will help you find a job you love, whether it's to make more money or get personal fulfillment in the career of your choice. Email them at getagreatgig@gmail.com or on Twitter at getgreatgigs.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Texas for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
All right, everybody, welcome back inside Legacy Stadium, the Katy ISD jewel of football cathedrals. I'm Roger Smith, and my friend Patrick Kinnick has joined us. Patrick, I know it was a little bit tougher to get in than it normally is when we go to Mercer Stadium, but we got here, right?
We're here. We're in our little cocoon over here at the 20 to 30 yard line on the home side of the field, and it looks really good out there. We got a clear window to look through, and we're excited about bringing this game to you.
Yes, and you know, before you got here, we did have a lot of raindrops. You know, you could see them falling as you look up toward the light standards, and we were getting some rain, and we were afraid that we might get heavier rain as we continued with our pregame activities, but everything looks like it's going to be okay, and the Ridgepoint Panthers are the home team. They're wearing the gray road jerseys with white letters and numerals outlined in purple. They have the white uniform pants, white helmets with the double purple stripe over the top. They've got their jersey numbers and all those little bitty footballs or panther paws or whatever they are on the left side to show how many great plays they've made. And they've got the Ridgepoint logo on the right. And the captains for your Ridgepoint Panthers are James Eaglin, Ethan Ramos, J.J. Davis, and Ryan Ramey. The Lamar Texans are in white jerseys and white pants with navy blue numerals and accents, and they've got their white helmets that say Texans on either side. And they used to be the Redskins, but now they're the Texans. There's so many things that changed in HISD. You got campus names and you got team nicknames.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to mention that, Roger.
Well, it's just part of history, right? Mike Walzell is our referee, and he has let everybody know that Ridgepoint won the toss and elected to defer, and Lamar is going to receive at the south end of Legacy Stadium. And we look down there at Rhodes Stadium. Patrick, I thought it might be in use tonight, but it's not.
Not in use tonight.
But wherever the other teams who are still alive in the Class 5A and 6A brackets decided to play, Rhodes Stadium was not one of those places.
Well, yeah, you would think there'd be a game there. I thought there would be one there tonight, but you clarified that for me. As far as the Texans uniforms, if you want to compare them to someone, think of the Penn State Nittany Lions. Completely white uniforms, just the numbers is the accent on the uniform, and the helmets are a little bit different. They got the Texans on the helmet, as Penn State has nothing on their helmet, just the stripe. But the uniform itself, it looks a lot like Penn State.
And they are pretty basic, which is basic as I understand it, in the 21st century, if you're talking about things that people wear, it's not a bad thing. But if you're a guy and a girl says you're basic, that means you lack something. You're just not.
Really?
You don't have enough. You're not broadened culturally or something.
You don't have enough pizzazz, huh?
I guess so. That's from what I understand.
Boy, I hope nobody calls me basic.
Yeah, well, if Maureen doesn't call you basic, it's all good.
Yeah.
All
We're
right.
ready to roll.
Holden Gray will kick the ball from the 40-yard line. He's a right-footed kicker. He takes a very short run up to the football, and it's a pop-up kick that comes down near the 20-yard line in the arms of Brandon Thomas, and he goes up the right hash mark and gets across the 34 to the 35, and that's where these Lamar Texans will start. And their offense is all about the passing of Kenneth Rosenthal. He is a senior quarterback. He stands 6'2", 185. His favorite receiver is Tristan Brown, who's caught 14 touchdown passes on the year. This Rosenthal completes 56% of his passes, and his average per completion is 20 yards, and usually throws for 200-plus yards per game. And they start with an empty backfield, 3 receivers on the left side of the formation. And he quickly throws it over the head of his intended receiver, T.J. Roan, incomplete. Second down and 10.
Yeah, not much chance for Roan on that one. Roan stands at 5'7". I think he threw that ball 6'5", all over his head. So he's trying to get the kinks out here on that first pass.
And for you really old timers, you may remember Texas Tech had a tight end named Oscar Roan, but not related because they spell the name differently. Now up the middle, straight up the middle on the running play to Brandon Thomas, the same guy who returned the opening kickoff. He gets it across the 40 to the 44, and now we have a third and short situation. Third and exactly 1 yard to go as the Texans will try to advance it to the 45-yard line.
The ball sitting right at the Y of Katie at center field.
And there is the give straight up the middle. Cortez Nichols tackles the running back. They handed it to Brandon Thomas again, but I think he got what he needed. He got about 1 foot, maybe 2 feet beyond the line to gain, and they moved the sticks. That's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. I also want to thank Lynn DeSalvo. He is our silent partner, the producer extraordinaire inside the mothership at Vype World Headquarters. Rosenthal throws a slant pattern, incomplete, intended for Tristan Brown. The first time that they've targeted him, J.J. Davis was all over it, and it's incomplete, second down and 10.
He had a good coverage, as you said. The pass is a little high again. Maybe he's a little excited here as we get the game started. Maybe he'll settle down as he gets a few more throws in.
Ridge Point with a 3-man defensive front, and only 2 of those 3 have their hands on the ground. Calvin Alexander, the edge rusher on the right side. Rosenthal throws far sideline, incomplete, good double coverage. There's really no place to throw it to Tristan Brown. I think he just deliberately airmailed it over his head because J.J. Davis was one of the defenders there, and so was Ryan Ramey.
Yeah, he had one guy in front of him and one guy behind him. He would have had to throw a perfect pass. He was high again on that pass, and maybe this time, or that time, he might have been intentionally high.
Rosenthal is 0 for 3 passing. It's third down and 10. And there's a whistle, and a timeout is taken by Lamar. They're not sure about things, and we'll step aside and be back. We're just underway. No score, Ridge Point and Lamar.
Hey, Fort Bend County fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance Agency.
Bradley is my insurance man. He can save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every year on your car insurance, home insurance, or flood insurance, or all 3 like he did for me. And Bradley, you are as Fort Bend County as they come, right?
That's right, 4th generation here in the Needville area in Fort Bend County, taking care of folks over here for over 100 years here in Fort Bend County.
You can give him a call, you can go online, or he'll even come see you at the Needville Insurance Agency. Give him the number, Bradley.
979-793-7411.
All right, we are back. The Texans talked it over, and we'll see what they dial up for this 3rd and 10 situation. Across the front for Ridgepoint, D.K. Kalu, K.J. Riley, and Calvin Alexander. They don't usually have to rush extra people to get a rush on the quarterback. Rosenthal drops back, throws late over the middle, and it's incomplete. And it was almost intercepted. Ridgepoint's Justin Brown got 2 hands on it, but he was really stretched out to the max to try and grab that one, and it's going to be 4th down and 10. Ridgepoint will get the football.
So in those 4 passes, unfortunately for Rosenthal, the closest receiver to catch a ball in that sequence was the interception attempt there by Justin Brown. So they'll be punting from their own 46.
I don't have an ID on the punter. I will in a moment. The punt is short, and it bounces all the way from about the 25 inside the Ridgepoint 10 and dies at the 6.5-yard line. A very effective punt. That was Eric Peters, who also does the kicking duties. And so Ridgepoint's going to have to go a long way with their first drive if they're going to be the first team to score here at Legacy Stadium.
It's safe to say that that punt did not look pretty, but it ended up beautiful.
That's right. You know, the Panthers are 9-2, 8-0 in their district games in District 26A. They have won 9 straight games, and these Texans are also 9-2, but they only had 6 district games to play, and they dominated them and won them easily.
So something's going to give tonight.
Austin Carlisle in the spread formation, pistol formation, hands it off to Ezel Jolly, straight over left guard, and a modest gain of only 2 yards. Jarvis Butler there to plug the hole, and it's 2nd down and 8.
It seemed like last week when we were covering Ridgepoint, it took a while for them to get Jolly going in the game. It didn't seem like they handed it off to him very often. And then tonight they decided, let's get him involved right away. First play, he gets a handoff and picks up about 2 yards.
By the way, Austin Carlisle was honored by KPRC, Local 2 Sports. They do a great job of covering high school sports of all kinds, week in and week out. Give to Jolly, straight up the middle. Same play, basically. The scrum is moving a little farther than it did the first time, and now it moves backwards, but they're going to give him 3 yards, I think, so we'll have a 3rd down and 5 coming up.
Yeah, it'll be a challenging play for him from their own 11-yard line. They were pretty conservative on the first 2 plays. I guess, again, inside their own 10, they want to play it safe. But I'd expect Carlisle to perhaps roll out or something here, get those legs going for a pass or a run.
And Austin Carlisle is saying a little something to his up back. I believe that's Preston Cooper. He's a tight end, but playing off the line right now. Carlisle rolls to the left, looking down the field, throws late over the middle. A little dart for incomplete. I was about to say it was for a 1st down. He got it into the gizzard of Ashton Bethel Roman, but he had a defender on his back. And when he came down, the ball came out. So I guess that's one of those, he did not complete the catch.
I'm not sure if the defender got a hand in there to kind of swipe it out of there, but I noticed on the sideline, the Texan sideline, they were cheering pretty quickly on the incompletion, so he must not have much control of it.
Zach Barger punting from inside his end zone, 3 yards deep. A little bit of a low snap, but he gets it. And he punts it away from those who would be wanting to return it, and it bounces off one of the Panthers' knees at the 45-yard line. So they're going to mark it near the 45 of Ridgepoint. A very short field for the Lamar Texans as they take over the 2nd time. You know something, Patrick? These 2 schools have only played each other twice. Lamar is 2-0 all-time against Ridgepoint. Each time it was an agonizing 2nd-round playoff loss. In the area round, Lamar beat Ridgepoint in 2016. At Tully Stadium, the score was 24-21. Ridgepoint was devastated by injuries the week before that game, and they really had no chance. And then in 2017, at this very stadium, Lamar won 36-29. It was awful both times. Ridgepoint looking for redemption. Rosenthal fakes a handoff, tries to run to the right, gets absolutely nothing, and D.K. Kalu just swallowed him up and spun him backwards, and then help arrived. So that ends up being a loss of 2, 2nd down and 12.
Alexander in on that tackle also. Calvin Alexander helping out Khalil, and a 2-yard loss. Good job. They faked the handoff, and quarterback kept it himself and did not fool the Panthers.
Empty backfield for Rosenthal. Probably going to throw on 2nd down and 12. And a flag comes in. It might be offside, and they swing a pass out here. The first completion, and it's going to be a nice gain down to the 34-yard line as they get it in the hands of the tight end, Jaden Garza. He's a big target at 6'4", 230, and I think this is a big enough gain where it's going to be 3rd down and 2. They might consider declining the penalty. So if they take the 5-yard penalty, then it would be repeat 2nd down, and they'd have 7 yards to go.
It's kind of a tough situation. Yeah, you got 3rd and about 2 versus 2nd and 7. It's kind of a tricky call there. Looks like they're going to decline the penalty.
Yeah, Mike Walzell, our referee, says that it's declined. So how about that?
So they opt for the 3rd and 2 situation, and they're sitting at the 34-yard line of the Panthers. Let's see what happens here.
And it's probably 2-down territory. But they don't get a big loss here on 3rd and 2. Rosenthal still looking over at the far sideline, getting hand signals from one of 3 coaches. Only he knows which one is giving the real signals. And we've got another timeout, and it's taken by Lamar again. They've used 2 already. We've got 8:08 to go in the first quarter, no score. Ridgepoint and Lamar, 2nd round of the playoffs.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
So we will watch as the rest of the first half unfolds to figure out if Lamar having to use those 2 timeouts or deciding to use those 2 timeouts will hurt them with clock management late in the half. It's 3rd down and a long 2. Here goes a man in motion. Rosenthal takes the snap, hands it off straight up the middle, and it's going to be a 1st down plus about 4 yards more to the Ridgepoint 29. They handed it off straight up the middle to number 0, Kelton Weathers, who stands 5'9", 185. Kelton Weathers has a 7.8 per yards per carry average, and usually gives them 70 yards per game. From the 29, I gave you the wrong yard line, and drop snap, Rosenthal runs to the right, and he gets a couple of yards, that's it, and then Ridgepoint pushes him back. So I had said the ball was at the 34, it was actually the 29 with a 1st down. Now it's 2nd down, but think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com.
Rosenthal did a good job on that last play. Well, first of all, he dropped the snap. It was a catchable ball, but at least he did the right thing by getting the ball to the opponent's hole as quick as possible and pick up a couple of yards at least. That'll be 2nd down and 8.
Rosenthal sends a man in motion, so it's an empty backfield. Swings it out there, and the ball is swatted down. KJ Riley blocked it, and so it falls incomplete. We'll have a 3rd down and 8. And you know what I've seen thus far, Patrick, is that the Ridgepoint defense is getting Lamar in some, down and distance situations that are favorable for the defense, but they have been letting them off the hook. So Ridgepoint would really like to grab a turnover and get the momentum cranked up. 3 receivers to the left. Rosenthal, he's going to quarterback draw up the middle, eludes a man, dives, and comes up short of the 1st down. He gets to about the 21-yard line where it's going to be 4th and 2, so it'll be decision time.
run. It's a little quicker than you would normally see on a quarterback draw. He dropped back. He usually hesitates just a bit longer. But he picked up some good yardage. But it's a big play here, Roger. Momentum type play here.
Yep. They didn't send anyone out there except Jaden Garza, the tight end, who's lined up behind the left tackle. Ridgepoint threatening blitz. Handoff up the middle, and the running back slips, but he regains his footing. He's hit hard, but he gets the first down, and what a great effort run. Oh, that was awesome. Kilton Weathers at the end of it, at the end of that great effort run, he fumbled it away. And the Ridgepoint defense gets that first turnover.
Good call to just play before, Roger. It was a good run, but at the end of the run, the ball got chipped out of his possession there, or knocked out of his possession, and all that effort was excellent. Unfortunately for him, he fumbled the ball. Ridgepoint gets that big break we talked about. They're back at their own 13. They need to get the ball moving a little bit up the field to change field position here.
At the bottom of that pile, Tristan Brown thought he recovered it for Lamar. It actually went to Calvin Alexander of Ridgepoint. And so it only matters what the officials say. Play fake, Austin Carlisle deep over the middle, in and out of the hands of Mason Dossett, who was open near the 50-yard line. He was the hero last week as he scored on a 2-point conversion pass, and that ended the game against Katie Tompkins. And that wasn't an ideally thrown ball, but I think it's a catch that Mason would say he should have made, so it's second down and 10.
I would say 100% that he would say that. The ball was pretty well thrown. Smidge high, very comfortable.
Carlisle gives it off to Ezel Jolly, slides down the line of scrimmage, gets to the edge, goes to the sideline, runs over a tackler, and goes out of bounds after a gain of 5 yards, advancing it to the 18, so it'll be third down and 5 for the Panthers.
I'll tell you what, if you're Lamar, you're going to want to contain Jolly. Looked like he might be able to turn the corner on that. Got to him after a 5-yard pickup, but a pretty good run by Jolly to squeeze out at least 5 yards on that play.
A lot of receivers on the left side of the formation, and Ashton Bethel Roman is the lone receiver on the near side. Now Dossett comes in motion toward us and is in the slot on the right side. Carlisle drops straight back, plenty of protection, throws in and out of the hands of Ashton Bethel Roman, but I'm actually going to say that Sean Deuce Connor, the DB, put his left hand there and really deflected the ball away before Bethel Roman could make the catch.
I'm quite sure that's what I saw too, Roger. He got that left hand in there, kind of like a training video to be a defensive back, getting in on that play and tipping it out of the receiver's possession, or at least a chance of getting the possession.
So nobody has scored yet, and Ridgepoint gets nothing out of its second possession. Barger to punt, gets it away. It's a wobbly kick, and it lands near the 45 of Ridgepoint. It bounces twice, and here's a return attempt that doesn't go very far. A return to the 47-yard line, a 2-yard return from Brandon Thomas, and Ridgepoint's defense will go back out there. So after they get the turnover, the Panthers offense doesn't turn it into anything productive.
Credit there to Antoine Thomas, who was able to get the tackle on that play. The return man scooped it up after it had bounced about 10 yards downfield. And good thing that Thomas was there because he might be able to get the edge. Good field position for the Texans though again.
This Panthers defense has 3 shutouts on the season. They average 13.6 points per game allowed. On 1st and 10, it's a running play off the right side. And after contact, a lot of yardage gained, and it ends up being a 6-yard pickup for their workhorse, Brandon Thomas. And another thing I wanted to say, Patrick, about the Ridgepoint defense, more than half of the 149 total points that they've allowed this season came in the games versus Westlake. That was the first game. 44 points was what they gave up on August 26th. And last week, November 11th, against Tompkins, which scored 33 points. So 77 points in 2 games, and less than that for the rest. Rosenthal drops the snap, throws late, got his man inside the 30. That was a hully-gully play. It was kind of a busted play. Tristan Brown knew what to do, and he streaked down the sideline. And beautifully lofted pass by Rosenthal for a first down at the Ridgepoint 29. And now they play fast. They have 3 receivers outside the number on the far side. And Rosenthal throws it that way, a little hitch screen, but goes for only 1 yard in the hands of TJ Roan, 2nd and 9.
Play prior to that when Roger, the quarterback, Rosenthal did another good job. For some reason, he just muffed a couple of snaps. I'm not sure what's going on there, but he's able to pick it up and get out on the edge. And then his receiver, as you said, Brown, adjusted well, and they get a nice play out of it.
And there is a light rain falling, so that's maybe the reason that Rosenthal has dropped a couple of snaps. And that bounces off as his running back's chest into the hands of Rosenthal, and he goes up the middle for 6 yards. I mean, it went straight to number 4, Brandon Thomas. He didn't expect it. It bounced off his chest plate of his shoulder pads right to Rosenthal.
Luckily for the Texans, it did bounce to the quarterback. I've never seen that one before. Off the chest of the running back and quarterback, and he's able to pick up the
3rd down and 4. Blitz shown by Ridgepoint. Rosenthal drops back. He gets rid of it, swings it out there on the check down play, and it's a first down. Brandon Thomas knifes between 2 tacklers, keeps driving the legs, gets inside the 20 to the 15-yard line. It moves the sticks. It's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com.
Good catch by Thomas there. The ball was low. He's able to catch it and then still get that first down. Good run.
They are moving it. They're in the red zone. Rosenthal hands it off to Brandon Thomas, slips a tackle, keeps on going, fights all the way to the 6-yard line. They mark him at the 7, but nice positive yardage for the Texans on that first down play, and they'll have a 2nd down and 2. We're getting close to the end of the first quarter. Both offenses kind of feeling out the opposing defense. You know, they did move the ball forward after that initial spot. There goes Thomas, bounces outside, slithers through cracks. Ridgepoint had it defended well, but he ends up getting 2 yards and a 1st and goal at the 4.
He has a way of getting that extra yardage. He bends his body in certain ways and is able to, how did you say he got through?
Slithering through cracks or crevices or something.
That's exactly what he did there, and he was able to pick up a couple extra yards after contact.
So the Texans are threatening to score. Rosenthal hands it off to Thomas, off the left side, into the end zone, touchdown. Good blocking at the point of attack, and Taylor Davis came up from his safety spot, but not soon enough, and the Texans are on the board first. And in our Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show, you know, we kind of told it like it is in that Lamar plays terrible district competition.
Right.
They're never challenged in a district game, but they still represent big matchup challenges for the Panthers, and we've seen that so far. Eric Peters, extra point kick is up, and it's good. 7-0, Lamar on top of Ridgepoint. You'll be back on VypeFortBend.com at KDISD Legacy Stadium. 1:42 to go in the first quarter.
My husband and I live next door to a haunted graveyard. It's a little creepy, but we manage. Just like we manage without home internet. Do I wish my mobile hotspot was faster? Yes, but I make it work. Kinda. Just like we make it work sleeping next to a 17th century burial ground.
Honey, can you move your hand?
That's not my hand.
It's mine.
Not having home internet? It's not that bad. Grab my hand.
Wait, Okay.
No, now up the stairs. We tried that last time. Run. You can literally run through him.
It is that bad. Don't settle for just mobile. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $24.99 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and a free streaming box included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit your local Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Offer ends 12/21/22.
Peters to kick off after the Texans draw first blood. His kick is a low wobbler, and it goes underneath Drummer. He goes back to the 11-yard line and picks it up and returns the ball to the 17, and that's all she wrote. That was Wesley Drummer, one of the Drummer twins. The other is Quincy, who wears number 21, so it kind of skittered underneath him. He never had possession, so the fact that his knees were on the turf didn't mean he was down. He got what he could.
Well, the Ridgepoint Panthers are going to start for the third time inside their own 20-yard line. The first drive, I think, was inside the 10, or around the 11 maybe. Second drive is, I believe, a 13-yard line. Here they start at the 17-yard line.
Yeah, they have not had ideal field position, that's for sure. Quick pass to Mason Dawson. Slips a tackle, gets across the 30 to the 31. And that's a first down, a quick 14-yard pickup and a first down. Think of First Tyrant Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttyrantauto.com.
That'll help the field position. A nice quick pass and good pickup to the 31-yard line. So they pick up 14 yards on that play. And that bad field position is turning into better field position.
Don't know if Mason's dwelling on it, but he's already dropped a pass that might have been a big gainer, even a touchdown. Play fake and a throw into the flat. Dawson's got it. Running free down the left sideline and gets to the 43 where he's cut down in the open field. And that is also a first down for the Ridgepoint Panthers.
He open, Roger. My goodness, there was nobody there within 10, 15 yards of him. And he made the nice catch all the way down to the 44-yard line of the Texans, and just like that, the Panthers have woken up.
Carlisle moved to his left, kind of like a point guard who draws the defense, and when the defenders came at him, he got the ball out of his hand to Mason Dossett. Now a running play to Quincy Drummer, and he's kind of making like Brandon Thomas, getting into the mass of bodies and then moving the pile, and he ends up picking up 5 on first down. And they're at the 39-yard line.
It's got to be the last play of the quarter, Roger.
You're right. It went pretty fast. After one quarter, it's Lamar 7-0 over Ridgepoint. We'll see if the Panthers offense can awaken and get on the board when we return.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Football fans, you don't want to miss the UIL State Football Championship experience at Cowboy Stadium in Arlington this December. Come out for an action-packed 4 days, Wednesday, December 14th through Saturday, December 17th, and witness the best teams in each division battle it out in the final games of the season. Tickets and all tournament pass information can be found at uiltexas.org. Roger Smith and Patrick Kinnick with you on VypeFortBend.com playoff coverage. Ridgepoint is down by 7. They were down last week to Tompkins. We'll see how they respond now.
They were down often last week.
Drummer goes in motion to the right, and now a throw over the middle. He's got Ashton Bethel-Roman for a 12-yard completion and a first down for Ridgepoint. Just kind of dropping it inside all those talented defensive backs. It seems like Lamar always has those. In fact, there are 2 guys. You've got Anthony Cook and Deshaun Jameson, who still play for the Texas Longhorns. They both redshirted a year each. and they also took an extra year because of COVID. So they were seniors during the 2017 season, and they're still playing college ball. Carlisle fakes a handoff, goes to the right edge, and runs out of bounds after a pickup of 4 and frightens a cheerleader as she runs back toward the concrete wall. But he wasn't going to run over her or anything like that.
Well, the crowd has finally kind of gathered in here. We were wondering as the game was about to start, there was a lot of empty areas over there across the way for the Lamar Texans that they battled I-10 and made their way over here.
2nd down and 6. Carlisle gives it off to Quincy Drummer, makes a move, hits a tackler, and he only gets about 2 as he advances to the 22-yard line, and that'll set up a 3rd down and 4 for the Panthers. On the tackle for the Texans, Nehemiah Johnson. And I noticed they have several Old Testament names up and down their roster.
I think Aaron Casey is in there also.
Yeah, Aaron was Moses' brother, right?
Yeah, he did all the talking, right?
Well, Moses wanted him to do all the talking, but I have a feeling Moses kind of turned to him and he didn't have much. He probably said, I got nothing.
I got nothing.
You better go with it. But, you know, God put the words in his mouth. It worked out. And there's a run by Drummer, fighting over the left side. He's fighting for the 1st down. I think he's going to be a yard short. And in his defense, Donovan Rogers McNeil, who's a big dude, was on his back. And Rogers McNeil is 245 pounds, but just a sophomore. I have a feeling he's going to be growing, and he'll be even tougher to move in seasons to come.
Looks like they're going to go for it, Roger. 4th and 1 from the Lamar 24-yard line.
Actually, the 19.
Excuse me, the 19.
And they scooted the football forward, so it's now the 18 plus 1 foot. There goes Drummer, hit at the line, but he has great effort, and he gets enough to advance it forward for a 1st down. He needed 1, he picked up 2, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Ridgepoint at the 17 of Lamar.
Yeah, it looked like when he was a yard away from the 1st down, but when the center was snapping the ball, it looked like the ball was at the 1st down yard marker. He has kind of moved it up. Maybe the official marked it there, I'm not sure.
The Drummer brothers on either side of Carlisle, who drops back, fakes short, throws for the end zone. Bethel Roman in and out of his hands.
Boy.
That's unfortunate. There was good defense, but the pass was perfectly thrown. And I'm not really sure what made the difference on that play, but Sean Deuce Connor was right there with Ashton Bethel Roman, who's asking the official a little something or other. Maybe watch for holding or something.
Connor looked like he was beat, and then he kind of was able to make up some ground there at the end. He might have got a fingertip in there to deflect that ball, but it was a pretty good looking pass.
Yes, it certainly was, but it's 2nd down and 10. Here goes Carlisle after a fake handoff, goes around the outside, gets outside the numbers, sideline, makes a move, spins, fighting for the goal line, and he goes in standing up, and a flag comes in as he's hit after he was about 4 yards deep in the end zone. So it's not only a Ridgepoint touchdown, they'll benefit from a penalty after the play, and the extra point coming up from Holden Gray can tie our score.
Yeah, there's 3 penalty markers right at the spot of the play, the tackle. As Roger said, he was well into the end zone when they tackled him. And I believe that's the signal we're going to get. Touchdown will stand, obviously.
Joshua Niebuhr is the holder for Holden Gray.
Are we going to get the call here first?
The call? Yes, we certainly should. Okay, that's Mike Walzell, our referee, and he didn't give the number of the guilty party. 17-yard touchdown run for Austin Carlisle. Gray tells Niebuhr that he's ready. There's the snap and hold. Kick is up. Kick is good. Let's see, Patrick, I'm going to do a little math in my head here. That's an Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive. Let's see, what's a minute 41 plus a minute 33? That's going to be 3 minutes and 11 seconds. And it was capped off on a 17-yard run by Austin Carlisle. Ridgepoint has tied it at 7, and we'll be back.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
First Tire and Automotive heard you were starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $20 off brake pad service. Since you will be traveling more, check out the back on the road fluid check specials and tire specials. Yes, First Tire and Automotive has those too. Your holiday savings start now. Check out the website firsttireandauto.com for details and to book your appointment today. First Tire and Automotive with 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
Holden Gray's kick goes all the way 4 yards deep in the end zone, and they're bringing it out, and it's not going to be very far. They really bottled up Tristan Brown. He got a late start, and the Ridgepoint kick coverage was fantastic, and it was Anthony Thomas, reserve running back, who made the play. Gets it back to the 13-yard line.
Perhaps an ill-advised decision there. He's 4 yards deeper in the end zone. They're kicking off from your 45. The defenders are going to be right on top of you there. Maybe he thought if he could get through that initial wave, he might be able to pop it.
And credit Holden Gray, really got a lot of air under the kick. They talk about hang time on punts. No one ever talks about hang time on a kickoff.
That makes a big difference.
So the Ridgepoint defense might go into attack mode here. Rosenthal hands it off on a draw play. Bouncing outside is Kelton Weathers, and he picks up 3. He had a really nice run in the first quarter, but it ended with a fumble.
Yeah, it got him the first down on that play, too. Afforded drive opportunity for the Texans. They got a 2nd down and 7 from their own 16.
Looking across the way, it looks like it is raining harder. It's not a really hard rain, but it's harder than it was falling during most of the first quarter. Empty backfield for Rosenthal. Sends a man in motion, fakes the jet sweep, throws a little hitch pass, and it's well diagnosed, sniffed out, only 2, maybe 3 yards for Tristan Brown, and all over him was Peyton Doucette.
I think if he would have just waited a second, he might have been able to get a block there. His blocker was behind the play, so to speak, and he was already wrapped up by the tackler. So 3rd down and about 4 yards to go here.
8 minutes to go, under 8 minutes now. 3rd down and 4, and Ridgepoint will try to get off the field and give it back to the offense. Handoff straight up the middle. Fighting for the first down and maybe a yard short as Kelton Weathers takes it straight ahead. I think it's going to be real close. James Eaglin on the tackle, and they're sending out the punting unit. He was actually a good 2 yards short. So good job by the Ridgepoint defense. And now they'll see if they can make something happen in the kicking game as Ashton Bethel Roman is back to receive the punt from Eric Peters.
I'm not sure if you saw anything, Roger, but Coach LaFavors was really laying into the referee there, and now he's running down the sidelines for another call, and that he's probably saying that was happening on the other play too. I don't know what had happened, but he was really getting on him prior to the last snap. I'm not sure if there was motion or something that he saw, and he's getting his running in.
He's getting his up and down the sideline.
Steps in right now, I'll tell you, and he's got a lot of energy. And that 5-yard penalty drops them back to the 16 for their punt.
4th and a long 6. Good snap to Peters. He gets it off of his foot quickly. It's a little wobbly kick, and it goes to the 42-yard line of Lamar and just moves sideways, straight to the left, and it remains a punt of What's 42 minus 16? That's 28, right?
They took a left turn.
No, that's wrong. 42 minus 16 is 26. 26-yard punt with no return.
Be able to correct yourself quickly, Roger. That ball bounced and it just took a hard left. Never rolled another yard downfield. Great field position for the Panthers after their last touchdown, and high score here midway through the second quarter.
By the way, I want you to think about it. Do you remember the last time that you were in this stadium, Legacy Stadium, before tonight? Think about it. 1st and 10. Carlisle drops straight back. Flag comes in, might be offsides. Ashton Bethel rolling, caught. No! What? He dropped it?
Yeah, he had it.
Oh my goodness!
And he's lamenting right now. He's all alone as he runs back. He laid it in there perfectly, and Roman Bethel just couldn't hang on.
Well, radio listeners, I'm very sorry that I said he caught it for a touchdown, but Vern Lundquist, you remember, caught, touchdown, drop. Jackie Smith, oh my goodness, he's got to be the sickest man in America.
They did get 5 yards out of that offside situation, but they, like you said, they had a free play.
Bit of a consolation prize.
They would have rather had the catch there. The last time I was here, I'm just trying to remember who was playing, and I do remember it. I had a producer with me, I think.
Okay.
And you were
yeah, I know
else.
what you're talking about. It was a Hightower playoff game.
Hightower, and you were doing another game. It was
That's right. I was over there with another game. I can't remember which one. Fake to Ezell Jolly on 1st and 5, and a deep throw for Mason Dossett that is over everyone. Dossett was well covered near the goal line, and Carlisle has a big enough arm as a sophomore, and he made the right choice to just don't take a risk. You didn't need to throw one of those 50-50 balls. Of course, I guess it's not a 50-50 ball if there are 2 defenders and 1 receiver. It would be a 67-33 ball. 2nd down and 5. Here's a give to Ezell Jolly, and not much room. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. He was treated very rudely indeed by Nehemiah Johnson.
Johnson was taken down from behind, and he kind of ran him into his own player. Robert Jones was there to be a roadblock, but Nehemiah Johnson had him wrapped up, and they got a loss of a yard, I think, on that play. 3rd and 6.
So far, the Ridgepoint receivers have had the dropsy. There's a 3rd and 5 swing out to Ezell Jolly. He's got the first down, keeps going near sideline, and tumbles ahead to the 17.
I knew when you said that he was going to catch that one. A little swing pass to the left, and Jolly did a great job of getting through 2 defenders for extra yardage down the left sideline.
Cameron Vandible made the tackle, and Vandible sounds like a bone, but that would be the mandible, which is the jaw, right?
Is this science class?
Partly, yes. It's all about physics. Fake to Jolly. Throw. Gabriel Bro in and out of his hands near the pylon. That was a very tough catch to make, so that doesn't really count to me as a drop, although those who grade the videotapes after the games,
they might think differently.
They might say that that's on you, bro. Get it?
Yeah, I do.
Gabriel Bro.
Chris Boykins was in there. He gave him a shove at the end, too, that might have helped jar that ball loose. But Carlisle's doing a good job of pump faking. The defenders are biting on that pump fake, and he's getting some balls. He's getting some open receivers.
Ezell Jolly standing to the right of Austin Carlisle on 2nd and 10. Fake to Jolly. Run to the right by Carlisle. Cuts back to the middle. Leaves his feet and jumps to the 11. And there he is, kind of knocked back while in midair. That was the 6th play of the drive. The ball is at the 11. It'll be 3rd and 4 for Ridgepoint.
It looked like he was going to get a little extra there. Portland Gaines, he was the guy who was able to stonewall him while he was in the air. 5 minutes to play, first half, and the Panthers trying to get their first lead of the ball game.
Here comes the 7th play of the drive on 3rd and 4. Carlisle drops straight back, throws near sideline. Derek James caught, touchdown!
How did he catch that?
And that was very hard to catch because the defender, O'Marion Marshall, seemed to have him covered pretty well. Somehow the ball got through Derek James the first time they targeted him tonight. He gets the touchdown catch.
It was great coverage. I don't know how that ball got in there, and then he was able to somehow keep an eye on that ball and tuck it in his belly, and great catch and a touchdown, and here the Panthers have that lead for the first time here with 4:50 to play.
That Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive covered 42 yards, took 3 minutes 8 seconds off the clock, 7 plays, and it culminated with the touchdown pass from Austin Carlisle to Derek James. Holden Gray's extra point kick is good, and Ridge Point leads it by a score of 14-7. We'll be back.
My husband and I live next door to a haunted graveyard. It's a little creepy, but we manage. Just like we manage without home internet. Do I wish my mobile hotspot was faster? Yes, but I make it work. Kinda. Just like we make it work sleeping next to a 17th century burial ground.
Honey, can you move your hand?
That's not my hand.
It's mine.
Not having home internet? It's not that bad. Grab my hand.
Wait, okay.
No, now up the stairs. We tried that last time. Run around. You can literally run through him.
It is that bad. Don't settle for just mobile. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $24.99 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and a free streaming box included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit your local Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Offer ends 12/21/22.
Pop-up kick by Holden Gray, taken at the 17-yard line, running sideways and getting nowhere is Davion Gibson. That's an awesome tackle on special teams by Ridge Point's Kentrell Butler. So, Patrick, I have to say that I get a little gun shy. You know, the games that, some of the ones that I remember are the ones that eliminated teams that I was hoping would advance farther into the playoffs. And so I haven't seen anything from the Lamar Texans except knocking Ridge Point out of the playoffs. So I am not going to get too confident with Ridge Point having scored the last 2 touchdowns to take the lead.
Lamar is deep in their own end again to start this drive, own 16-yard line.
Might have been some movement, might be a free play, but then they blow the whistles and stop the play. I think James Eaglin jumped a little bit and his helmet had kind of moved across the plane of the line of scrimmage.
I'm trying to see if there was no contact. I thought they were supposed to let the play go, but there must have been a little contact on the play, on the jump there. So Lamar will get 5 free yards here.
You know, coming up on our Next Level Urgent Care halftime show, and it is an offside penalty. And we will have, well, unless you're Amish, you're going to want to listen to our halftime show. It's a place you must visit in Kilgore, Texas. And if you're Amish, you're not listening to web radio anyway. So you need to listen to the Next Level Urgent Care halftime show. First down and 5, Rosenthal gives it off on a delay, straight up the middle, Brandon Thomas. He burrows ahead, I think that's the good way to describe it, and gets about 3 yards. And on the tackle for Ridge Point, which is very deep defensively, was, well, wait a minute. Is a guy wearing 63? I don't have a 63 on this roster, or do I? Is this the updated playoff roster? There's no 63.
I don't have a 63 roster.
You don't?
Nope.
Okay, I don't, you don't. The unknown tackler made the tackle. Second down and 2, and a throw for a first down by Rosenthal. And still going all the way out to the 48-yard line is, sorry.
TJ Roan.
Thank you, you're right. Or is that Aiden Turner, number 6?
I thought it was number 1.
You're right, it is 1. TJ Roan.
What a great pass. Roan was coming across the middle and hit in stride. And he was able to get, as Roger Roger said, all the way to 47, so they're out of the depths of their own end, and they're driving here.
Lamar responding very well to that go-ahead touchdown by Ridgepoint. Rosenthal rolls to the right, throws back across the field. Brandon Thomas has it near the 30 and down at the 26. That was a beautifully executed play. Rosenthal kind of moving to the hash marks on this side and threw it past the numbers over in front of his team's bench. And Brandon Thomas was uncovered. They play fast. Fake a handoff. The ball is loose in the backfield. Rosenthal throws late. Got the completion to Roan. Down the sideline he goes, and he's inside the 15.
That's another unbelievable play.
They're just kind of playing frantically, and nothing's going perfectly well, but they get great results.
As he was trying to make the initial pass, the ball fell out of his hands. He had to pick it up and then throw it over there after picking it up, and they still got all that yardage, and now we have a timeout.
Ridgepoint wants a timeout. Their first of the half. They lead 14-7, but the Texans are threatening to tie this game up. We'll be back.
Next Level Urgent Care supports Fort Bend County sports and supports you whenever you're hurting. Next Level is here for the community, open 7 days a week, 9 till 9, for you and your family at more than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugar Land, Sienna, Greatwood, Longmeadow, and 4 in Katy. From ow to wow, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. And if you're short on time, Next Level has an app to get you in line right away. Just text NLUC APP to 313131 for Next Level Urgent Care.
The teams are back on the field, and now it's 1st and 10 for the Texans. They are at the 11 of Ridgepoint, trailing 14-7, 3:15 to go in the first half. Brandon Thomas hit in the backfield and thrown down. They really squashed that play. Peyton Doucette got in the backfield, and it's a 2-yard loss. 2nd down and 12.
A few times that Thomas hasn't had a positive play when he ran the ball, thanks to the Panthers sandwiching him at the 13-yard line. So here's the 14-yard line. 13.
How about a pick six right here? That would be a real gut punch. 2nd down and 12. Rosenthal sends a man in motion from the right to the left, now drops back, and the blitz comes, and down he goes! It was either Doucette or Alexander, Calvin Alexander, and what I like to see, you don't see it that much, he sacked the quarterback, and he reached his hand down and helped his opponent up off the field.
You don't see that very often. Another timeout.
Yep. Is it taken by Lamar?
I believe Lamar took it.
All right.
Ridgepoint may have taken it. I'm not sure.
You know, Mike Walzell, our referee, pointed at the Panthers. So the Panthers have taken their second timeout.
First Tire and Automotive heard you were starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $20 off brake pad service. Since you will be traveling more, check out the back on the road fluid check specials and tire specials. Yes, First Tire and Automotive has those too. Your holiday savings start now. Check out the website firsttireandauto.com for details and to book your appointment today. First Tire and Automotive with 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
All right, Patrick, I got a tough one for you. What do you call when it's 3rd down and 22 to go?
Well, depends on what kind of kicker you have, too. Whether they're going to try to kick the field goal. I would imagine you want to get a few yards here if you're going to kick the field goal. Let's see, they got 4 receivers to the right.
Lamar moving left to right, the ball on the left hash mark. Rosenthal rolls to his right, throws a short pass. It's going to go for a short gain. Out of bounds at the 20-yard line. He got the ball in the hands of Davion Gibson. And so it looks like they're sending out the field goal unit. Eric Peters has that little block in his hand. You know, the block used to be 2 inches tall, and now it seems like it's about 3/4 of an inch.
It's interesting, that play was not designed to get the first down or even go for the touchdown. I think they had it in mind they were going to go for the field goal, and they wanted him on the right hash. Maybe that's why they ran that play.
It's going to be a 37-yard attempt from the near hash mark. St. Mackenzie holding for Eric Peters, trying to cut the lead to 14-10. Snap and hold look good. The kick looks good as well. And it is good. So Lamar gets closer. They're down 14-10, and we'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
My husband and I live next door to a haunted graveyard. It's a little creepy, but we manage. Just like we manage without home internet. Do I wish my mobile hotspot was faster? Yes, but I make it work. Kinda. Just like we make it work sleeping next to a 17th century burial ground.
Honey, can you move your hand?
That's not my hand.
It's mine.
Not having home internet? It's not that bad. Grab my hand.
Wait, okay.
No, not up the stairs. We tried that last time.
No.
You can literally run through him.
It is that bad. Don't settle for just mobile. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $24.99 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and a free streaming box included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit your local Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Offer ends 12/21/22.
Well, close and competitive games are certainly more entertaining than blowouts, and we've got a close competitive one here. Eric Peters has just hit a field goal from 37 yards to make it a 14-10 game, and he kicks off from the north end at the 40-yard line. Mason Dossett is the deepest of the Ridgepoint return men, and the kick is actually going to go to Quincy Drummer as he brings it back for the 18-yard line, gets across the 20, the 30, he's still going near side, outside the numbers. He's got one man to beat, and he's dropped just as he gets across midfield. Perhaps saving a touchdown was Marcus Turner of the Lamar Texans, and Ridgepoint with a great place to start. Thank you, Patrick, for the pizza that that you'll enjoy yours, I'll enjoy mine, and people will wonder, how am I interviewing someone and chewing at the same time?
You have the ability to do that, Roger. Great return there to the Lamar 45-yard line, and they still have 1:56 left in the half, so they have no problem with the time situation, and they got great field position trying to answer that field goal.
And it was Wesley Drummer, not Quincy Drummer. I'm so sorry, Wesley. The ball is at the 45. Carlisle gets the ball out of his hand quickly. Little down and out route, and kind of a risky one for a 3-yard gain to Ashton Bethel Roman. Right on top of him was Sean Deuce Connor. There sure are a lot of athletes named Deuce, right? You got Deuce Staley, Deuce McAllister. You know any others?
I was going to say, there's 2 of them. Well,
that's a deuce of deuces right there. 2nd down and 7. Carlisle to throw. Throws, and it's in and out of the hands of Dossett, and that was one of those catches. If Dossett had not caught it near the 30, then right behind him was Ashton Bethel Roman. And I would like to ask, who was Austin trying to get it to? Was it Dossett or Bethel Roman?
That's another one that Dossett thinks he should have had. It was in his mix, but it brings down a 3rd and 7.
The ball is just slick enough to really cause problems. Carlisle rolls to the left on 3rd down, gets a block from Jolly, throws it late over the middle, up in the air and incomplete. He was looking for Gabriel Bro, who kind of turned out toward the numbers, and the ball was nearer the hash marks, and it was out of the reach of the 2 defenders who were back there.
Well, he had to get rid of it because he was ready to get spanked there at the 40, I guess it was about the 45-yard line. And one of the rushers was in on that play, Robert Jones for the Texans. He was bearing down on the quarterback, and I don't know who blocked him, but boy, he got a lick as he was trying to chase Carlisle down.
And that really earns respect when you're a quarterback like Austin Carlisle, that you will take that hit knowing that it's coming. All right, there's a kick that bounces to Brandon Thomas, and he realizes that he had called for a fair catch or something. I think that's what he did. He called for a fair catch and the ball bounced and he advanced it. You can't advance a ball when you've called for a fair catch.
Well, I'm not sure if he called for the fair catch or if the other man did.
Oh, well.
There was another guy back there, and I think the other man, I guess, called for the fair catch. One of them did anyway, but Thomas acted as if he did not.
Well, he must have gone down to a knee because there was no flag.
Maybe that's what it
They
was.
would have thrown a flag if
Yeah,
one
you're
player,
right.
even one, calls for a fair
Yeah.
catch.
As
and
he
it gets
scooped it, that knee must have hit the ground. You're right.
Yeah, I think that's it. So the ball's at the 11. 1:03 to go in the half. We'll see if Ridgepoint will do a risk-reward play. And Lamar is not just going to keep it on the ground and play it safe. They throw a little slant pass. It's a completion to Davion Gibson for a gain of 5. Clock runs with 49 seconds to go. Don't forget, stick around for the Next Level Urgent Care halftime show. Rosenthal, 2nd down and 5, gives the ball off, and it's a first down run for 6, maybe 7 yards as Ryan Ramey runs Kelton Weathers out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. He got just what he needed for the first down. They're going to wave the sticks.
Yep, he got right at the 21. He needed to get to the 21. And Lamar, remember you mentioned it earlier in the first half, they took those 2 first quarter timeouts. They're down to 1 timeout here.
I'm kind of surprised they're not just playing it close to the vest here. Rosenthal wants to throw again. Far sideline, outside the numbers, got the completion. He's got a good arm. Gets it to TJ Roan. He didn't really step into that throw, and yet he got it all the way from where he was about between the numbers and the hash marks on this side, almost all the way to the sideline and 20 yards downfield.
He's got a good arm and he's got good size. He's 6'2". They're at the 37 now.
29 seconds left in the half, and Rosenthal wants to throw again. Sideline, got his man again. Short gain to TJ Roan.
They waved it off. He must have dropped it there toward the end because the official was on top of that one, waving the incomplete signal.
I remember the last time I was in this stadium. My friend Kevin Lovell, who now lives in Atlanta, he's moved from El Paso to Atlanta in retirement. He and I came here to watch Austin Westlake against North Shore, and Westlake broke North Shore's win streak. Empty backfield, 2nd and 10. Rosenthal dropping back, throws late, and a beautiful tackle by the unknown guy, number 63. Dropped Kelton Weathers in his tracks.
I tell you, if he hadn't made the tackle, that was going to be a big play because they had 3 blockers out there, a lot of space, but a big play.
Lamar has taken a timeout with 16 seconds to go. We'll be right back.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
First Tire and Automotive heard you were starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $20 off brake pad service. Since you will be traveling more, check out the back on the road fluid check specials and tire specials. Yes, First Tire and Automotive has those too. Your holiday savings start now. Check out the website firsttireandauto.com for details and to book your appointment today. First Tire and Automotive with 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
With 16 seconds to go, Rosenthal sets up and throws deep down the field, and the ball is deflected right before it gets to the receiver, and it's incomplete with 8 seconds to go.
If it wouldn't have been deflected by the defender, the Lamar receiver would have had it. And I'm trying to see who that is. It looks like it could be Gibson.
Yeah, it's Javion Gibson.
Yeah, it's a tough catch because he's got his sights all set, and then the ball's tipped just enough to throw you off, and he's unable to
bring it in. If he had, it would have been good field position for a possible field goal attempt.
Well, look for the Panthers to go all out to block this punt. 8 seconds to go, and Peters just wants to get it out of there. That's all that matters to Lamar here. And a whistle? What's going on? Delay of game? Okay. That is of no consequence, although they should not have started the clock.
There should be 8 seconds.
Should be 8 seconds. And I think the head linesman over on this side is going to tell Mike Walzell, our referee, to tell the clock operator to add a second. Remember, Ridgepoint gets the ball to start the third quarter. Here's Walzell.
Please reset the game clock to 8 seconds. 8 seconds, please.
What did we tell you?
Yeah, maybe, sometimes that 1 second could make a difference.
If you like to watch TV or listen to the radio, you're going to want to hear our Next Level Urgent Care halftime show. And while you hear that fascinating interview, and I'm not kidding, it is fascinating, we will gather up scores for you. Peters takes the snap. Not much of a rush. Nice hang time towards the middle of the field, and Ridgepoint's just going to let it go. And the clock expires while the ball is rolling to a stop, and we are done with the first half. Ridgepoint leads it by a score of 14-10. This is Vype, FortBend.com, and we'll be back.
Equitable Advisors financial professionals know the path to a fulfilling future begins with getting to know who you are and what matters to you most. They work with people as individuals. That's how they deliver on their mission, just like Nick Arevalo, CFP. Talk to your local Equitable Advisor financial professional at 281-712-8777 or visit nickarevalo.com. That's NICKAREVALO.com. Together, you and my friend Nick can plan a future that reflects all of who you are. Equitable Advisors, LLC, New York, New York, member FINRA SIPC, investment advisory through Equitable Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. CFP is a certification mark owned by the Certified Financial Planner Board of Standards, Incorporated. This mark is awarded to individuals who successfully complete the CFP Board's initial and ongoing certification requirements. Welcome back, everybody, to the Next Level Urgent Care halftime show, and hope you're going to have a great holiday season. And if you get to travel, there's a place you must visit. If you're up in the North Texas, Northeast Texas area around Nacogdoches, Lufkin, Longview, Tyler, you've got to go to the Texas Broadcast Museum in Kilgore. I can't recommend it enough. And with us is Chuck Conrad. He is basically the guy who has made this beautiful dream come into reality. And first of all, Chuck, for those who have no idea what it might be like to be at the museum, describe it for us.
Well, it's a little bit of everything, and everybody's watched TV, they've listened to the radio, you've collected records, you've just experienced this. It's really your life, to be perfectly honest. I mean, that's everybody has experienced these things, and we have all the technology here. That's how it was done, and we can explain that to you. We have one of ESPN's original TV mobile units from 1979 when they first signed on the air for sports fans. We have one of probably the oldest restored TV mobile unit anywhere from Channel 8 in Dallas. It was used during the Kennedy assassination coverage. We have a camera that was there when Lee Harvey Oswald was shot live in the Dallas police headquarters by Jack Ruby. That was pretty exciting. Didn't even know that it's history. We have film equipment, we have radio equipment, we have a working radio studio, we have a working TV news set. You can go be the TV news guy, the anchor, or you can go do the weather. There's a lot to do here, and we even do events. We have various conventions and conferences and class reunions, all kinds of things like that. And it's really a fun place, and everybody has a really big time because they can relate to some of this stuff. I mean, whether it's an Edison phonograph or a reel-to-reel tape recorder or maybe an old hi-fi like you used to have back in the 60s or 70s. We have all kinds of stuff. We even have jukeboxes. You don't even have to put a quarter in. Ours are free.
There's no doubt that it does appeal to everybody. There's something here for everyone, unless, of course, maybe they're Amish. Chuck Conrad is in charge of this Texas Broadcast Museum. And first of all, I want to ask you, did this kind of become one of these ideas that grew legs, and then you said, you know what, I could turn that into a business? Or did you set out at the very beginning to try and collect artifacts from all these years of radio and TV and its evolution?
Well, it's not a business, first of all. We're a 501c3 not-for-profit corporation.
Sorry about that.
No, don't worry about it. But we're a public charity. But what happened was back in the 1970s and 80s and 90s, I was in the live sound business. I did sound for rock and roll shows, among other things, also for corporate clients like Southwest Airlines, American Airlines, Piper Aviation, Miller Beer, all kinds of people. I guess I'm plugging all your maybe sponsors or maybe not. But anyway, we also sold equipment. All the time people were bringing in old microphones, wanting to trade them in. This really started with microphones, which are small and light, and that's not a real big problem. I've always liked microphones for some reason. I guess I had a love affair with them since I was a kid. But people would bring in these old mics and want to trade them in on a brand new Shure microphone or something, and to get them off the street, and so they wouldn't go drive 20 miles across town to a competitor, I'd give them $5 or something, and now I'm not even making lunch money on the thing, but it was what it was. And I put them in a box, and for a long time, I kind of forgot about them, and we moved to a new building. We actually bought a building and set up in there, and I get all these boxes of microphones. I go, some of these look pretty cool. They're kind of neat. Look at this. And we made a big display of them, put a big wall behind our sales counter, and people started wanting to rent them for photo shoots and movies and all kinds of things. The JFK movie has some of my microphones in it. A lot of music videos back from the 80s and 90s have my microphones in it. They're mostly here now, but I still have a few back at the radio station. But that's kind of how it's. A long line came in and said, we'd like to buy your business. Well, I don't have an exit plan, so sure, why not? If you got money. How it started, and then one day I woke up and went, what am I going to do with this stuff when I get hit by a bus? What's my wife? What kind of garage sale is my wife going to have in Chalk Hill, Texas, where I live? So that's how come the museum kind of started.
Well, that's kind of like the Herschel Walker trade was the Cowboys, who won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. It really changed everything, and you thought, hey, we really are onto something that people will want to come and see. We're talking with Chuck Conrad. He's with the Texas Broadcast Museum, 416 East Main Street in Kilgore. You can look at their website, texasbroadcastmuseum.com. We'll take a break and visit just a little bit more with him at this, talk about this wonderful place that I promise you, if you visit the Texas Broadcast Museum, you will be fascinated and you will want to come back. You'll tell your friends. We'll be right back on the Next Level Urgent Care Halftime Show.
Hey, Fort Bend County fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance Agency.
Bradley is my insurance man. He can save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every year on your car insurance, home insurance, or flood insurance, or all three like he did for me. And Bradley, you are as Fort Bend County as they come, right?
That's right, fourth generation here in the Needville area in Fort Bend County, taking care of folks over here for over 100 years here in Fort Bend County.
You can give him a call, you can go online, or he'll even come see you at the Needville Insurance Agency. Give him the number, Bradley.
979-793-7411.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
First Tire and Automotive heard you were starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $20 off brake pad service. Since you will be traveling more, check out the back on the road fluid check specials and tire specials. Yes, First Tire and Automotive has those too. Your holiday savings start now. Check out the website firsttireandauto.com for details and to book your appointment today. First Tire and Automotive with 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately, like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box. All for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New Gigabit Extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity gateway.
We are back continuing our halftime visit with Chuck Conrad of the Texas Broadcast Museum. Hope you're enjoying our playoff presentation today. But I can promise you that if you go to the Texas Broadcast Museum, you literally can be there all day. It's not a huge facility. It's not like it's as big as the George R. Brown Convention Center, but there's this never-ending string of artifacts, television equipment, radio equipment. It's truly, truly amazing. And Chuck, I guess I want to ask you, the youngest of the people who watch high-definition TV, do they ever walk in and cringe when they see the images on screens from long ago and what it once looked like?
Well, I had some kid ask me, was the whole world black and white back then? And I go, no, but TV certainly was, and they don't know. Actually, the way a lot of this got started was I own a couple of radio stations in the area, and some kids from Kilgore came out to visit the station one day. They were little Cub Scouts, probably 7, 8 years old. And when you first come in, there's some microphones up on the wall and some old radios and a crank-up phonograph with a big red Morning Glory horn on it. We have one here. You can come experience the same thing. And I started cranking the thing. And this little red-haired kid says, now, why are you cranking that? And I said, well, it was made in 1905, and back in 1905, most people didn't have electricity. He goes, no. Of course they had electricity. Everybody's got electricity. I go, no, not even today. Everybody has electricity. In our country, yes, they do, but not everywhere. And he goes, his eyes were like moon pies or something. I said, no. In 1905, things were a lot different back then. Very few people had indoor plumbing. I mean, that was a real luxury. Hardly anybody had a car. Telephones were practically unheard of. A few people had them, but only rich people. And the kid goes, now, wait a minute. If they didn't have phones, how'd they get on the internet? He was serious. I am not usually at a loss for words, but that one actually stumped me for a minute. And then I realized that these kids really do need to know this. So they come in here and they can learn about Morse code. They can see an Edison phonograph that actually works. They can listen to it, and experience how horrible it sounds. Makes their MP3 sound really good. And, they can watch early TVs and have to wait for it to warm up instead of boot up. They've never seen a phone booth. It's a lot of fun to ask them to use a telephone dial. They don't know what people are sticking their fingers in the holes, like they're pushing buttons. So it's a whole different world, but the kids really need to know, and it's been a really great experience for doing that.
I'm at a similar loss for words when kids can't tell you where the electricity comes from other than that it comes from a plug in the wall. They don't realize that something has to burn to produce that, but that's a whole nother discussion. One thing that really amazed me the first time I visited your museum is when you explained just how difficult it was to televise an event, especially a football game, because the camera equipment, I'm going to exaggerate here, but maybe you'd have a camera that weighed a couple of tons and you somehow had to mount it inside the bleachers at a stadium where it wasn't really engineered to accommodate a broadcast. Can you just give maybe 1 minute on how it's different when they televise a game now, as far as how big and heavy the equipment is, as opposed to not that long ago, 40, 50 years ago?
Well, the early color cameras, the first ones that came out that people used into the 1970s, I mean, I've got pictures of them at Texas Tech hauling these things into the bleachers and stuff. They weighed 345 pounds, and then you still had to have a tripod and a dolly and whatever, and cables, giant cables. I mean, these cables were 1.5 inches in diameter, and the early ones had 3 cables that came out of it. You're dragging hundreds and hundreds of feet of this stuff into the stadium and then plugging it into the truck that's parked outside that, oh, by the way, didn't have air conditioning. That was really special, too. And everybody had to wear a coat and tie while they're doing this, too. That was just the way it was back in the 1950s, 1960s. It was huge work to do. Now you go into a stadium, and I think the Super Bowl had 124 cameras. Our original ESPN truck had 4. They upped it to 6 and thought, wow, this is something.
And in some places, didn't they have to build a pedestal or a deck or maybe bring in some scaffolding just to have a place to put the camera?
Yeah, they certainly did. You couldn't put this on the little tiny narrow place where your bleachers are. It's just not big enough. I mean, these things are gigantic. So you'd have to put scaffolding in and make your own decking. And I remember used to see them, they'd mount one in a golf cart and move back and forth up and down the sideline at the football game. And there was some poor guy that had to drag this incredibly heavy cable, from quick, we're going to the 20-yard line now for the first down, and they had to go drag this thing down there. It was some serious work. The guys that did that were real athletes, really. And then even later in the 70s, when they started coming out with handheld cameras, they were 35, 40 pounds. And can you imagine having that on your shoulder for 4 hours for a football game?
No.
It's pretty exciting. And then a line blocker comes in and slams right into you, and you fall over on your back with this thing. And you get seriously hurt doing this. Now there's little cameras in the pylons that are there at the goal line. There's 4 of them in each one of those, and they're all wireless. It's a whole different world today, totally different.
We could talk with Chuck Conrad all day. You can come to the museum in Kilgore at 416 East Main Street, and you can spend all day. You'll love it. And I mistakenly called it a business earlier. It's a 501c3. So do make a generous donation. It's certainly worth it. I know that libraries want your money and all kinds of places that kind of help preserve our story in different businesses. But this is just amazing. Thank you, Chuck, for being with us. Folks, make a donation when you come here. It's something that you really need to do, but it's worth its weight in gold or pennies or whatever you pay. Thank you, Chuck.
You're welcome. Come see us.
All right. Soon as football season is over, I think I will. But we want our playoff teams to go on and on and on. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn with Horn Solutions. We agree with energy analysts that the energy market has stabilized. We anticipate significant merger and acquisition activity. Good resources are scarce. Horn Solutions is positioned to assist you in accounting, finance, IT, and supply chain. Our staff can assist you with outsourcing, or we can supply you with resources to join your staff. Visit hornsolutions.net for details.
Gary Horn is a highly successful businessman who has made a huge impact in people's lives, and he loves what he does for a living. That's a big reason why Gary Horn and Horn Solutions support Get a Great Gig. Get a Great Gig is a free job search consultation service that will help you find a job you love, whether it's to make more money or get personal fulfillment in the career of your choice. Email them at getagreatgig@gmail.com or on Twitter at getgreatgigs.
All right, everybody, we are back on the Next Level Urgent Care halftime show, and our score here at Katy ISD Legacy Stadium is Ridgepoint 14 and Lamar 10, and we're about 4 minutes away from resuming this game. A couple of things I didn't get a chance to say during the first half is that Ridgepoint did not make the final Dave Campbell's Texas Football Class 6A Top 25. It was released on November the 7th. So the other teams from Region 3 of 6A Division 1 who are in the top 25 and still playing, in other words, teams that Ridgepoint could possibly play if they get past this one tonight: North Shore, Atascocita, and Cy-Fair. So that is the usual suspects. You know, those teams year in and year out, they're good. You know that they're going to be there. And so Ridgepoint, if it can beat Lamar tonight, faces the winner of Atascocita against Clear Springs next week. And the other Region 3 area matchups, you've got North Shore taking on Dickinson and Cy-Fair taking on Cinco Ranch. And we're going to give you scores on those. So here you go. Well, I guess I should start with what's most important to Fort Bend County. The Hightower Hurricanes in Class 6A Division 2 leading Houston Heights 22-7 at halftime. That's a game that was going to be tomorrow afternoon at 1. We were going to broadcast it for you, but they moved it to tonight because they think there's going to be a lot of rain tomorrow, and we're not going to undo one arrangement. We had already committed to Ridgepoint against Lamar, so here we are. But Hightower, if they can hold on to that 15-point lead in the second half, then they will move on to the next round. Okay, so we mentioned Cy-Fair. They are leading Cinco Ranch, a shockingly low-scoring game. Cy-Fair 3, Cinco Ranch nothing, and they are just starting the third quarter. Here's kind of a shocker. North Shore is leading Dickinson at halftime, but not by much. It's 24-21. North Shore over the Dickinson Gators. The Katy Tigers this year are in Class 6A Division 2, and they are leading Spring Branch Memorial 41-14 at halftime of their game. Meanwhile, so if Ridgepoint wins this one, they will play the winner of Atascocita and Clear Springs, and so far it is all Atascocita 21-0 in the third quarter with 10:29 to go. So they've just started the third quarter, and Atascocita leads Clear Springs 21-0. I mentioned this game simply because I was an original Highlander. It was McCullough High School. Now it is the Woodlands. They're taking on Klein Cain. I think everybody expected a really tough, tight game, but the Highlanders are spanking Klein Cain. They're caning them, basically, you know, like they do in Singapore. 45-7, the Woodlands over Klein Cain at halftime. All right, Patrick, we looked down at Rhodes Stadium earlier. It didn't look like there was a game going on, but there was, and there is. It's Port Neches Groves taking on Austin LBJ, and good news for Port Neches Groves. They're our buddies because they're one of the teams in the district with Marshall, Class 5A Division 2. Port Neches Groves 24 and Austin LBJ 6. That game is at halftime. The Marshall Buffs, they are ranked number 2 in Class 5A Division 2, and they are leading at halftime over Waco University. That scored 21-0. That game is being played in Giddings, which is a little bit east of Austin. We would like to have gone there, but, Patrick and I had enough trouble making our separate journeys here to Katy Legacy Stadium, so both of us would have had to take the afternoon off, and our school administrators hate it when we do that. And that would have been the only way to do the Marshall broadcast. But the Buffs look like they're going to move on to the third round. I can't see Marshall blowing a 21-point lead, but, they better come out ready in the second half. Fulshire is in Class 5A Division I, and they are leading College Station. Actually, they're leading A&M Consolidated. The game is being played at A&M Consolidated, and Fulshire leads that one 36-17 at the half. We've got one other score for you. C.E. King, 27, Clear Falls, nothing in the third. I'm really impressed that anybody could be that far ahead of Clear Falls, which is a very tough defensive team. They're very hard to beat. And because we did the interview with Chuck Conrad of the Texas Broadcast Museum, I decided, I think I should include the Kilgore score. And Kilgore is leading the El Campo Ricebirds 34-20. I would really prefer that El Campo win that one, but they're in trouble. Down by 4. Actually, it's a final score. Kilgore has beaten El Campo. So that is the end of the high school career of the great running back for El Campo, Reuben Owens. But he's going to be a good one in college, I do believe. So there you go, Patrick. I think I've told everybody everything they need to know. By the way, I wanted to mention that Lamar and Ridgepoint don't have any common opponents this year. So if you wanted to kind of make a comparison that way, can't help it. Sorry.
I guess we're not going to be able to make that comparison. The inflatable tunnels that have been brought out off the field now, and we're ready to get going in the second half. Lamar's going to kick off. And Ridgepoint Panthers.
Yeah, and we've mentioned the weather a little bit. We've had some rain. It doesn't look like rain is coming down now. Now I look closer, and yeah, there is some rain out there. It's very light, but there's no wind. I mean, the flags are just, they look like a sculpture. They're not moving at all. All right, Eric Peters has the ball teed up for Lamar, and they will defend the north end zone in this third quarter. Mason Dossett deep to receive. You got Wesley Drummer and Quincy Drummer also back there, and we are ready to start the third quarter. Peters striding toward the football. It's in the air, and Dossett chasing it back near the goal line. It bounces, and he's just going to let it stay in the end zone, and the official actually blew it dead before he could even bring it out. So it'll be Ridgepoint ball at the 25.
Yeah, once that ball hits the end zone, the whistle will blow. So they get the ball at their own 25-yard line to start with a 4-point lead. It was a good first half. I think both teams did a good job of showing some resiliency after teams scored and so on. It was kind of a little bit of back and forth. And the difference right now is Ridgepoint is able to get 2 touchdowns. Lamar, 1 touchdown and a field goal.
I'm going to ask you something, an observation, see if you agree about Ridgepoint. Give the ball to Ezel Jolly, popping through a big hole on the first play, but it closes quickly. Good reaction there by the Lamar defense. It's a 5-yard gain, and the tackle by Liam Clerkley. Sounds like he's from England or something.
Yeah,
Liam Clerkley. Okay, so, Patrick, I'm kind of encouraged when I look at Ridgepoint. I don't think they played their best football. I don't think they have. I think they're capable of playing better than we've seen, even though they've had some big wins. And on 2nd down and 5, Carlisle fakes the handoff, rolls right, keeps it, gets the first down and more, all the way out to the 40-yard line. He's hit hard as he goes across the sideline, but that'll move the sticks. So it's kind of encouraging when you think a team can play even better. But I would say I would kind of like to see them ramp up their play at a greater incline, you know? I think I'd really like to see them hitting their stride in a big way, because if they win tonight, they're probably going to play Atascocita, the team that eliminated them last year.
Yes. Now, does Lamar have something to do with that? That'll be interesting to see here as the second half unfolds.
Yes, you got to give credit to the opposition as well. Jet sweep. Mason Dossett bringing it this way across the 40. Sideline, turns it up and hit late. No flag, and I'm kind of glad there was no flag, because how was number 9, Carson Skotak, to know that, Mason Dossett was out of bounds? You can't let him go.
They actually had him, looks like they marked him out of bounds up earlier towards the 47-yard line. The hit took place somewhere around the 40.
Okay, well, so if they were blowing the whistle, maybe he should have gotten flagged.
Maybe he should have, yes.
Okay, but it's 1st and 10 at the 47 of these Lamar Texans. Jolly, power sweep to the right. Turns it up inside the pursuit and carries it forward for only a gain of 1. It's 2nd down and 9.
That play looked like it was going to go somewhere, and the Lamar defenders closed in fast, just limiting him to the 1-yard gain. Ridge Point would certainly love to come out of the locker room with a score here on their first possession.
This is the 5th play of the drive, and Carlisle wants to pass. Throws far sideline. Got his man. Dossett knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line, and that'll move the sticks. It's a 1st down. Think of First Tyrant Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttyrantauto.com. By the way, Matt Musel of Channel 11, he does a great job covering high school sports, and he's covered everything for 40-plus years in Houston. But he called Mason Dossett Brian Dossett on his heroic game-winning 2-point conversion catch in overtime. He was Brian Dossett, but of course, if Ridge Point can keep playing, then they'll start getting more names right. There goes Jolly. Who has the football? It's Carlisle! He spins away and gets 4 yards down to the 30. It'll be 3rd down and 6 to go, Patrick, but I think Jolly wanted the football. Carlisle wanted to pull the football back, and I think both of them were carrying it for about 3 steps. Tacklers were coming, and Carlisle yanked it out, and they only gave him 3 yards, actually, so that was a 1st down play, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a 1st down play. So this is the 7th play of the drive, and it's 2nd down and 7. Carlisle has plenty of time. Now he runs to the right, looking way down the field. He's going to keep it and gets out of bounds. Actually, he's hit there right as he was about to go out of bounds, as Cameron Vandable made that tackle.
Carlisle is really a quick runner, and he's hard to bring down, hard to contain. And I just now noticed he's only a sophomore. I did not know that. I didn't realize that. Ridge Point is set at the quarterback spot for the next couple of years. He really looks good.
And, they had no idea who their quarterback really was going to be early on. And they got some really horrible quarterback play up and down the line. But Carlisle took the job, and now he's doing the job most efficiently. 8th play of the drive, Ezel Jolly carries for a short gain over left tackle. 2 yards picked up down to the 18. They're in the red zone and looking to make it a 2-score game. They already lead it 14-10.
They are doing a good job of maintaining possession of the ball here as we start the second half, nearing the 4-minute mark of the drive at the 18-yard line. And like Roger said, they're in the red zone, trying to pad the 4-point lead.
It's been a very well-executed drive, moving efficiently. Carlisle drops back and throws, and it is tipped, and Skoko has it. Carson, I mispronounced his last name. Carson Skotak, whom Coach Lindsay was bragging about in the pregame show, batted a pass up in the air, and he made the catch, and he derails a Ridge Point drive, which had advanced the ball 20, 30, 40, 55 yards down the field. They had a good situation, and the pick, and I don't think Carlisle realized just how high Skotak can reach and knock the ball up in the air, and really Ridge Point was lucky that he just went down to his knees.
If he would have been able to maintain his balance, certainly could have gone up the sideline.
First and 10, and a pass to the near side, looking for that big tight end, Jaden Garza, incomplete out of the hand of Rosenthal. Second down and 10 from the 17.
It was a good faking. They faked the jet sweep, then they faked the handoff up the middle of the court, to the runner. I believe that was Thomas, and then Rosenthal made a pass to the right side. He's just a little bit off on the throw. Garza got a hand on it, but he could not pull it in.
Bridgepoint was so close to getting a 2-score lead. Now the defense has to do the job. Rosenthal, play fake, stands strong, throws, and he's got a completion. It is on target to TJ Rowan, and he's still going. Far sideline, and he runs out of bounds near the 42. They spot him at the 43.
He's hit Rowan a couple of times on some big plays. And there's another one as they get inside Bridgepoint territory and then moving the ball.
They're playing quickly. Rosenthal throws it over in the flat. He's got the same guy, Roan, and he heads forward for about a 5-yard pickup, and Taylor Davis wrestles him out.
Well, you had mentioned earlier that I think you said Christian Brown was his favorite receiver, but tonight it sure looks like TJ Roan is the favorite receiver.
Yeah, that's, and really before that interception, Skotak hadn't done anything, but he was the guy that Coach Lindsay was bragging on. There goes Thomas running left, trying to stiff arm Taylor Davis. It's not working. Actually, it's not Taylor Davis. It's a Ridgepoint player. I believe it is Isaiah Brown, and he is down.
Yeah, he kind of came out of the tackle situation. I don't know if he landed wrong on one of his feet or what there, but he's laying down at the 23-yard line. Now, maybe it's a cramp. I don't know.
Yeah, I hope that's all it is. It is Isaiah Brown, because Taylor Davis was standing next to him checking to see if he was okay. All right, we'll take a quick break and be back on VypeFortBend.com. It's 14-10 Lamar trailing Ridgepoint, but the Texans are moving the football.
My husband and I live next door to a haunted graveyard. It's a little creepy, but we manage. Just like we manage without home internet. Do I wish my mobile hotspot was faster? Yes, but I make it work. Kinda. Just like we make it work sleeping next to a 17th century burial ground.
Honey, can you move your hand?
That's not my hand.
It's mine.
Not having home internet? It's not that bad. Grab my hand.
Wait, okay.
No, not up the stairs. We tried that last time.
No.
You can literally run through him.
It is that bad. Don't settle for just mobile. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $24.99 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and a free streaming box included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit your local Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Offer ends 12/21/22.
Isaiah Brown walked across the field. It looks like it was just a cramp. I'm sure we'll see him back out there. Fifth play of the drive. First and 10 for Lamar. Rosenthal hands it off to Marcus Thomas. Straight up the middle, Brandon Thomas. And that was KJ Riley who put forth a textbook tackle. You just can't really do it much better than that. His face mask was right in the guy's chest. He picked him up, and the guy's shoulder blades hit the turf before his feet did.
There you go.
Second down and 10 after a no-gain play. There goes Rosenthal. Keeper around the right side. Calvin Alexander hits him before he can really get going. And it's either a no-gain or a loss of 1.
Looked like the Ridgepoint Panthers came in on a blitz on that, and he kind of ran into a lot of gray jerseyed defensive players, so it's 3rd and 10. The Lamar drive started off very well here, and now they've stalled here on these last 2 plays. Give credit to the Panthers defense.
Well, I thought he lost a yard on that play, but I guess it was just a no gain, and it's 3rd down and 10 from the Ridgepoint 31. Rosenthal with a hand signal to 3 receivers on the right side of the formation. Takes the snap, it's a little bit low, stands strong, steps up, throws late, is hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. That was close to disaster for Ridgepoint because Tristan Brown almost was right there. Ryan Ramey was about a half a step behind, and now what do? It is 4th and 10. They wouldn't try a field goal. Yes, they would. Peters is coming out there. He's got that little block, and he's going to try one from 48 yards. He's in the middle of the field. There is no wind of any kind. His holder is St. Mackenzie. Wow, this would make it a 1-point game, but now we have a flag. And if that's a false start penalty, that might take the, it is a false start.
Well, I didn't see it, but the flag came off the line from there. And
it was far side. You didn't see the movement.
I didn't see the movement. I saw the flag, but I didn't see. Now they're going to go ahead and punt this thing and try to pin the Panthers deep.
48 is a long field goal to ask of a high schooler, but 53 for most of them is out of the question. So the ball now at the 36, and Peters stands right at midfield waiting for the snap. Looks like Ryan Ramey is back to receive, and he's going to let it fly, and it goes into the end zone harmlessly. And by the way, it was not Ryan Ramey, it was Ashton Bethel Roman. So that'll be the punt touchback, which is the 20. The kickoff touchback comes back to the 25. By the way, folks, hold on, I'm sorry, I was distracted by a Sharpie that came undone. I have open ends at both ends, and I only have one cap.
This is a real dilemma, Roger.
It's a dilemma. It is. I'll just put it down. I don't want to get ink on the beautiful countertop here at Katy Legacy Stadium. Okay, back to live action from the 20. Austin Carlisle takes the first snap and gives it to Jolly. He's hit near the line, but he keeps on going. It wasn't a huge hole to run through, but enough to allow him to get 4 yards on first down, brought down by Donovan Rogers McNeil.
That's a good first play for the Panthers as they come out of the off that punt. Give credit to the defense. They bent a little bit there, but then they buckled up there to stall the Texans.
It was actually a 6-yard run there. And they give it to Jolly again. Pops through, first down and more. Hanging on to the football and dives to the 35. That'll move the sticks. It's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. And the tackle there by Aaron Kizzee, Kizzee. And there's a kid that plays for Hightower. Same last name, same spelling.
I remember that name. Good job by the Panthers to get this first down and get this drive churning here.
Dossett, they give it to him on the jet sweep, runner to the right. The Texans strung it out well and limited him to a gain of just 2 yards. Right at the last instant, he decided to head north and get what he could, but it wasn't long before Liam Clerkley brought him down.
It's interesting on that play. It's a shotgun formation, so the snap comes to Carlisle. He basically doesn't really even catch it. He just kind of tips it to
like it's a hot potato.
Yeah, like it's a hot potato to the man in motion. And that time it was Dossett. Give credit to the Texans. They allowed him just 2 yards on that one.
Second down and 8. Empty backfield as Jolly goes in motion. Little slant, got a completion to Ashton Bethel Roman for a first down at the 50. Tough catch in traffic. It moves the sticks. That's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. And Patrick, this drive looks really good like the first one did.
Yep.
They just weren't able to finish it.
Both teams moving the ball pretty well here in the third quarter, and no points to show for it.
By the way, down here to our left, the wonderful activity that you seem to enjoy when the rival cheerleading squads get together and make nice for a few minutes and entertain each other.
Well, they got a big circle down there, and they're dancing in the middle, and who knows what they're saying.
Empty backfield, quarterback draw, Carlisle didn't get anything, dropped for a loss of 1 because Nehemiah Johnson saw it all the way.
We spoke to him earlier in the game. He had a nice play earlier, and then that one, he just seemed like he just sort of jumped on his back, and Carlisle couldn't maintain his balance with all that weight on him. It's a loss of 3, so we got a 2nd and 11 here.
And Carlisle is kind of limping around a little bit. I think it's one of those things that's going to go away, but I don't know how well he would do running on this play. I'm hoping it'll be a pass so he can just get it out of his hand quickly. And now we got a whistle prior to the snap and a flag back here thrown by the back judge a long way from the line of scrimmage.
That's not a delay of game, is it?
Surely not.
Let's see what we got.
And Carlisle, I think, is waving at the bench. I'm thinking he needs to come out for a play, or they'll call a timeout or something. I think they've called a timeout. Let's take one.
Let's do it.
We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com. It is 14-10, Ridge Point. 2:51 to go in the third. They have the football near midfield.
Next Level Urgent Care supports Fort Bend County sports and supports you whenever you're hurting. Next Level is here for the community, open 7 days a week, 9 till 9, for you and your family at more than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugarland, Sienna, Greatwood, Longmeadow, and 4 in Katy. From ow to wow, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. And if you're short on time, Next Level has an app to get you in line right away. Just text NLUC APP to 313131 for Next Level Urgent Care.
Ridge Point took that timeout, and I don't think it was so much to strategize as to make sure that Austin Carlisle was okay. He kind of loosened up a little bit, jogged around. I think he's all right now on 2nd down and 11. And there's a flag. You had a defensive end for Lamar come across the line. You had the offensive lineman, the left tackle, Peyton Farmer, stand up. So who do you call that on?
Well, it's hard. It depends on who started the action. If the lineman is allowed to move if the defender comes across the line, but they're going to call it on Ridge Point here. Apparently finally moved to make the defender come across. And Roger, I think that timeout, according to the scoreboard, that might have been a timeout Lamar, because they're showing 2 timeouts left, and Ridge Point's still showing 3. So perhaps they had some defensive difficulties to force that timeout.
Well, I am happy to be wrong about that one. All right, 2nd down and 16. Carlisle flush to the right, looking down the field, outside the numbers, still going, hit, and he picks up the penalty yardage to get back to the front stick. So he picked up the penalty yardage +1, so it's now going to be 3rd down and 10.
I'll tell you what, he did a good job of getting away from Nehemiah Johnson, who came in like a bear, and luckily for Carlisle, Johnson left his feet, allowing him to get outside and pick up those 6 yards, giving him a chance here, 3rd and 10 from the midfield stripe.
Carlisle still seems to be moving one of his legs around in such a way as to loosen it up. Play clock down to 7. He might be changing the play. They need to hurry. Play clock at 4. Now he gets it snapped, drops back, looks deep over the middle. Got Mason Dossett upended after he gets a 1st down. A 12-yard pickup to the 38. And I didn't describe it very well, Patrick. I said deep. It really wasn't deep. It was kind of a medium crossing route. But he gets the 1st down.
Deep enough for the 1st down.
All right, so can Ridge Point finish the drive and expand their 14-10 lead? The clock is down to 1:42 to go in the 3rd quarter and still ticking.
They've been down here before in this 3rd quarter. Let's see if they can finish this one off.
3 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. Carlisle hands to Jolly. Jolly making his way for about 3 yards over left guard. This run defense by Lamar is pretty tough, and there's some beautiful sportsmanship.
Yeah,
Terrence Alexander, who sang the Star Spangled Banner prior to the game for Ridge Point, picks up the defensive end Andrew Hodge of Lamar.
Sportsmanship deluxe. Forgot what I was going to say.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. No, it must not have been very important, Roger.
That was just a gain of 2, not 3, so it's 2nd down and 8. Carlisle fakes it, keeps it around the end, gets outside the numbers, takes a big leap, and gets down to the 28. So that's a pickup of 6, and it's going to be 3rd and 2.
Looks like it was Baber on the tackle.
Yeah, Baber.
I thought he was going to get that first down, and Baber was there to trip him up there at the 33-yard line. Carlisle's looking like he's moving pretty well, despite perhaps having a kink in one of those legs. He gets it going pretty good. 3rd down and 2. Big play here as we wind. This could be the last play of the 3rd quarter.
I was just going to say that, yeah. So the clock is at 11 seconds. He takes the snap, gives it off to Quincy Drummer, and he's got the first down inside the 25 and squeezes out a couple more yards down to the 23. And that will be the final play of the quarter. Ridge Point has kept the ball for the last 10 plays. We'll see if they can score and expand their 14-10 lead when we start quarter number 4. We'll be back.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Football fans, you don't want to miss the UIL State Football Championship experience at Cowboys Stadium in Arlington in December. Come out for an action-packed 4 days. It goes from Wednesday, December the 14th through December the 17th. That's the Saturday when Ridge Point hopes to still be playing. You can witness the best teams in each division battle it out in the final games of the season. Tickets and all tournament pass information can be found at uiltexas.org. Ridge Point has been very stingy with the football. And they have a 1st and 10 at the 24. Carlisle fakes the handoff. Goes off left tackle, spinning, fighting all the way down to the 15. That's a 9-yard pickup. And all of a sudden, Patrick, it appears to me that the Lamar defense is getting a little tired.
They've been out of the field the majority of this half. They've only had the ball once the second half. This is only the second possession for Ridge Point. It's been sustained drives from both teams. Ridge Point really needs to finish this thing off, though. They're at the 15-yard line, and it's a 2nd and 1.
Carlisle ties his shoe before he calls for the snap. Fake handoff, throws to the pylon. Fade route, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Gabriel Bro, and Bro is he fell onto the big old deflated Texans tunnel over there.
Right. Yeah, there was pretty good defense over there on a little, I guess, I don't know what you call it. What do you call that pattern? It's
I would call it a fade route.
Fade route, and he threw it up there with one person to have the chance for the catch, and now it looks like the receiver over there is kind of favoring his leg
it's
too.
Gabriel Bro not moving real well. There's a give to Quincy Drummer, tries the middle, breaks a tackle, keeps on fighting and gets down to the 12. And that's a gain of enough for the first down. It moves the sticks. That's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. The ball is at the 12. Ridge Point can get another first down without scoring.
It sure looked like he was stopped on that run. It looked like Lamar was doing a good job, but Drummer kept it going and found a crease and got that first down, and now they're really threatening here at the 12-yard line.
The Drummer brothers in the backfield to either side of Carlisle. And a give to Wesley. No, it's a keeper by Carlisle. Bounces it outside the number, still going and dives to the 5.
That's about the third or fourth time that Carlisle has had a man to beat on the edge. And Lamar has yet to have a player be able to stop him one-on-one. Carlisle is really hard to stop. He has good moves, great quickness, and he's always able to beat that one man, and he did on that play inside the 10.
7-yard pickup, 2nd down and 3.
Yep, they're at the 5, so and they got a lot of plays in the arsenal here on 2nd and 3.
Wow, what a long drive this has been. Carlisle, he wants to pass, rolls to his right, throws late to the back of the end zone, and is it intercepted?
Oh my goodness.
It is intercepted in the end zone. Shades of Josh Allen. Oh my goodness.
That was an amazing
picked it
interception. I think it was 25.
25? I think you're right. And that is Cameron Vanderbilt. Oh my goodness. I was ready to tell everybody about an 80-yard Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive. That was the 15th play of the drive. And let's look on the replay. We're looking at the scoreboard. Did he keep his feet in? Yes, he did. You got to give it to him. And it is Vanderbilt. Wow, what a play.
He tipped it again like who was the guy who did it last time? Skotak?
Well, I wasn't. Skotak.
Skotak, yeah, down
earlier,
here. He tipped it to himself, and he did the same thing on that play. He was able to tip it and then somehow keep his feet in bounds, or at least one. There's an amazing play on his part.
Wow. 2 long drives that net nothing. And now, on the first play of the drive for Lamar, it is Kelton Weathers.
And he's still running. Did they blow the whistle? My goodness. He somehow, I thought they blew the whistle at about the 22. And we both looked down, and he was still squirming around. I think it's a 5-yard gain. Wow. That was a good run by Weathers. A lot of tenacity showing on that run.
We are in the 4th quarter, and there's going to be a heartache tonight. Somebody is going to be done with the 2022 season, and Ridgepoint looked like they were in great shape to take a 2-score lead.
Yep.
But the Lamar defense weary, but turned them away.
Oh!
And there is an incompletion, a near interception by Ryan Ramey of the Panthers.
I'm sorry, Roger. I reacted unprofessionally there.
That's okay. By the way, every once in a while that's going to happen. It sure doesn't bother me because you do it so seldom. But it's these guys that when I'm trying to listen to a game on the radio, and the color guy just screams and screams, and you don't even know what's going on. No harm, no foul. All right, 3rd down and 5, big play here. Rosenthal drops back, steps up, gonna run, and he's run down from behind. D.K. Kalu with a big tackle to stop him short. And that's a huge play. The Texans are gonna have to punt the football.
It was looking like Rosenthal was gonna squeeze through there and run for that 1st down. And like you said, Kalu got him by the ankles and brought him down to the 26-yard line, and that was a huge play as the clock winds now down to 28-minute mark is approaching.
You know, after they've tried a couple of long drives and they didn't work, how about Ashton Bethel Roman just take this punt return to the house?
Save the offense.
How about that? The Peters punt is in the air, trying to keep it away from Bethel Roman. And did the ball touch one of the Panthers?
I think it did.
Hold on. No indication yet. 2 officials talking to each other. Did it touch a Panthers foot? It is Panther football. And the Texans fans are not happy at all.
I'll tell you why they're not happy, because
replay.
It was 25 Butler, and the way he reacted, you can see him grab his face mask. He put his head down. He was disgusted.
And Coach LeFavors went out there and kind of tapped him as if to say, what were you thinking?
I think they missed that one because he clearly, the way he reacted, he clearly thought he made a big error.
Well, you can hear the boos, B-O-O-S, from all the way across the field.
Oh, boy.
Those Texans fans are mad, and well, they should be.
It's a big break for the
I'm not certain it touched his foot, but it sure looked like it did.
Based on the reaction.
There goes Ezel Jolly.
He's just not going down.
He's just not going down. There's like a rugby play. This just never stops.
Wow. Got to give him a lot of credit for just keeping it going there. It's only a 2-yard gain, but it sure is a strong 2-yard gain. I tell you, Roger, would you have ever expected there would be no points so far here in the second half? It's still 14-10, which was our halftime score.
I certainly would not have.
And right now, Ridgepoint, if they could just keep the ball, be able to run this clock out the way they've been going.
2nd down and 8, 7:20 to go in the 4th. Quickly, a down and out to Ashton Bethel-Roman, and he drives to the 49-yard line. I think he's got a first down.
He looks pretty, they're waving the sticks. So.
Yep, he had Deuce Connor on his back, but he just kept on driving those legs just enough. I think he exceeded the line to gain by a foot.
I don't know if I've seen a team earn this many yards in a half without any points.
So that was an 8-yard pickup. Now there's a give to Jolly over the right side, popping through, almost broke it, but he dived down to the 46 in Lamar territory. On the tackle, Corwin Gaines, no relation to assistant principal Ricardo Gaines of the Ridgepoint administration.
Yeah, he got him low, got him by the foot there, and Jolly was unable to go all the way through that little crease, but he did get 5 yards. Good gain.
Derek James, one of the receivers who caught the touchdown pass for Ridgepoint in the first half, is split out to the left. Now they give it to Jolly, and he is thrown down. He is manhandled for a loss of 1. That was Chance Bloodsaw.
What a name.
I like that name.
Bloodsaw. He's a sophomore as well, 6'3", 230.
My goodness. He looked angry.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes teenagers are angry about one thing or another.
Well, yeah, sometimes.
And if you channel it in a good way like that, you help your team. It's 3rd and 6.
Sometimes older people are angry at things too. Maybe do we know how to channel it? I'm not sure.
I don't know, and maybe we know that we should just keep it to ourselves because nobody cares to hear about us complaining.
Exactly.
3rd down and 6, big play, and Ridgepoint takes a timeout. They're not sure exactly if they had exactly what they wanted there. So with 5:28 to go and they're leading 14-10, we'll be back.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn with Horn Solutions. We agree with energy analysts that the energy market has stabilized. We anticipate significant merger and acquisition activity. Good resources are scarce. Horn Solutions is positioned to assist you in accounting, finance, IT, and supply chain. Our staff can assist you with outsourcing, or we can supply you with resources to join your staff. Visit hornsolutions.net for details.
Gary Horn is a highly successful businessman who has made a huge impact in people's lives, and he loves what he does for a living. That's a big reason why Gary Horn and Horn Solutions support Get a Great Gig. Get a Great Gig is a free job search consultation service that will help you find a job you love, whether it's to make more money or get personal fulfillment in the career of your choice. Email them at getagreatgig@gmail.com or on Twitter at getgreatgigs.
On 3rd and 6, Carlisle flushed, can't get away. He's sacked back at the 45. The Texans are fired up, and well, they should be. Nehemiah Johnson made that sack, and Carlisle coming away from the play limping. It looks like maybe his right leg is bothering him a bit, and they keep the clock going. Okay, never mind. It's about to be a punt.
Yeah.
Sorry, I freaked out there for a second. I was thinking the possession had changed and the clock was still running, but we're under 5 minutes to go, and Ridgepoint has given up the football. Barger to punt. He's standing at his 31. High snap, no rush, gets it off, and it rolls to the 20, keeps on going.
Boy.
Nothing Brandon Thomas can do but watch it roll to a stop at the 14.
Well, it was such a short kick for him to field that he had to let it go, and then once it started rolling, he couldn't really position himself to get in on it and stop the roll. So they got a long way to go, 86 yards to to score a touchdown. A field goal is not going to do them any good. Amazingly, Roger, this could be their last chance with the ball.
Yeah. By the way, I figured out my Sharpie problem. I separated one cap from the other. So
I think the audience is very happy to hear that.
Yes, and the maintenance staff, the people that keep this so nice here in the press box at Legacy Stadium, going to be happy to know that. Little quick slant and a good first down play. And the ball comes out. Ridgepoint ripped the ball away from the receiver, Davion Gibson, and the Panthers have it. DK Kalou, he makes the recovery. And there's a penalty flag. They're going to back up Ridgepoint. They won't have as good a field position, but that is a huge turnover.
What is it, a celebration?
I think it's excessive celebration.
Well,
I don't think, maybe Kalou might have chunked the football. You know,
I don't know. I didn't
see that either. And let's listen to what he says, he being Mike Walzell, our referee.
The penalty marker certainly went into the area of the celebration.
After the play, let's go for our combat. Number 90, 15-yard penalty.
Did he say 90?
Number 90, so it is indeed DK Kalou who commits the penalty, and instead of having it near the 15, somewhere like that, it's all the way back at the 34.
Yeah, that's a big penalty, but as you said, Roger, I mean, hey, they got the ball back and they're in great field position. They don't need to be in a hurry. They'd love to get a touchdown. A field goal would even help them a whole lot to keep them up by 7. But they'd love to have a nice, about a 3 or 3.5 minute drive for a touchdown.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. There goes Wesley Drummer in motion. They give it to Quincy Drummer over the right side, holding on to the ball with 2 arms, and he only gets a couple of yards, just kind of burrowing in there. Andrew Hodge brought him down, 2nd down and 8, and the clock is at going to be under 4 minutes when Ridgepoint snaps it again.
And they need to, there's no reason to be in a hurry here. They have the lead. They're well inside Lamar territory. And they do look like they're taking their time as the play clock is down to 20 already. Geez, I keep forgetting what I'm going to say. Oh, I was going to say that Lamar did take that time out earlier in the half, so that could be a big factor. They have 2 remaining with 3.5 to play here in the ball game.
2nd down and 8. The Drummer brothers in the backfield. Wesley goes in motion. Give to Quincy up the middle. Big run across the 25 and down to the 23. And that will be a first down for the Panthers.
Big first down for the Panthers.
About a 12-yard pickup. Smashing ahead.
Yeah, he's a rumbler, isn't he? It's hard to bring that fella down, being Quincy Drummer. And now again, the Panthers taking their time, which they should be doing. Again, they could almost run the clock out here. If they get another first down, they may not even have to worry about getting points.
I thought of a nickname for the Drummer brothers as Quincy goes in motion, and they give it to Wesley up the middle, and he smashes ahead across the 20 to the 18.
All I can say is I hope it's not Little Drummer Boys.
No, it's not that, because I think that's kind of a ridiculous premise for a story. It's not even from the Bible.
Okay.
Anyway, I think you should call them the Stone Ponies, because you know, Linda Ronstadt saying that her first hit was with the Stone Ponies. You and I travel to the beat of a different drum, so they both march or run the football to the beat of a different drummer. So they're the Stone Ponies.
To have that nickname, you have to explain yourself every time.
Yeah, I guess
that'd be pretty hard to do.
If a nickname takes a lot of explaining, maybe it's not so great. 2nd down and 5 after that Wesley run. Now they give it to Wesley again, and he pops through, and he's got another first down at the 9-yard line just to move the sticks again. Just enough to move the sticks is what I meant.
It looks like, yep, they are moving the sticks, so it's it's at the 14-yard line, and it's the first down with under 2 to play. And like I said, Roger, they might just be able to run this clock out.
Yeah, they might end up with a 14-10 win.
And they'd be happy with that. A win is a win.
Well, they'll be happy with that, but I'll bet the players really want to get 21 on the board.
Most definitely. But
you know, I'll bet if they hand it fake the handoff to one of the Drummer brothers straight ahead, and Carlisle goes around the end. He could score. And he gives it to Wesley Drummer, and he fights for 5 more. Gets it, make it 4 more. Gets to the 10, and it'll be 2nd and 6.
Lamar has to use their second timeout.
Okay, we'll take it with them. Ridge Point closing in on victory, it looks like, but, you know, I don't want to jinx anything. We'll be back.
First Tire and Automotive heard you were starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $20 off brake pad service. Since you will be traveling more, check out the back on the road fluid check specials and tire specials. Yes, First Tire and Automotive has those too. Your holiday savings start now. Check out the website firsttireandauto.com for details and to book your appointment today. First Tire and Automotive with 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
You know, when was the last time when you would say a team dominated the second half and did not score a single point?
I can't remember.
It's not very often you say that.
Yeah.
Ridge Point has really been dominant. Their time of possession is about 2/3 what Lamar has. Now it's 2nd down and 6. Give to Wesley Drummer up the middle, fighting hard, gets down to the 6. So that's a pickup of 4 and another Lamar timeout. We'll take it with him and be back on VypeFortBend.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
We see all you do to get work done, whether it's keeping your office clean or redesigning your space for 3 or 300. Our business is to keep business going. Buy online and pick up in store, or get free next business day shipping at Office Depot, OfficeMax, and OfficeDepot.com.
We want to thank the folks at Office Depot, Southwest Freeway at Williams Trace in Sugar Land. They take care of business every day, so we can bring you Fort Bend County sports every week. Ridge Point, I think they're going to have Carlisle go under center. No, he now backs up. They'll still be in the spread formation. Lamar has used its last timeout. 1:20 to go. Give to Wesley Drummer. Spins down to the 5. Only got a yard or 2, so now it is 4th down and 2.
What do you do here, Roger?
What do you do? My goodness, I think Coach LaFavors is going to go for it.
Well, they got it. They're going to have the ball. They'll be snapping it right about at the 30-second mark. And even if they don't get the first down, it would be 25 seconds for Lamar to try to go all the way down the field.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Every once in a while, if you try a field goal, it doesn't happen often, but it could get blocked and scooped, and you could take it the other way. I would say just try to score a touchdown. If you come up short of the first down.
They're going to call timeout here with 32 seconds to play.
Yeah, we'll be back.
My husband and I live next door to a haunted graveyard. It's a little creepy, but we manage. Just like we manage without home internet. Do I wish my mobile hotspot was faster? Yes, but I make it work. Kinda. Just like we make it work sleeping next to a 17th century burial ground.
Honey, can you move your hand?
That's not my hand.
It's mine.
Not having home internet? It's not that bad. Grab my hand.
Wait, okay.
No, not up the stairs. We tried that last time. No. You can literally run through him.
It is that bad. Don't settle for just mobile. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $24.99 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and a free streaming box included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit your local Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Offer ends 12/21/22.
All right, here we go. Ridge Point with a 4th and 2. They're leading 14-10. 32 seconds left in the game. And Wesley Drummer in the backfield. They give it to him up the middle. He smashes ahead. He's going to come up short, and the clock will stop with 27 seconds to go. The Lamar defense does its job, but now the team has no timeouts. They're 95 yards away from the touchdown they must have to extend their season, and they've got 27 seconds in which to do it.
Well, it's amazing, as I said earlier, that this half has had no points, and Lamar, a field goal does them no good here. And as Roger said, they have to score a touchdown, and they're 95 yards away. Can you do that in 27 seconds?
And Ridgepoint would have a date with Atascocita because they beat Clear Springs tonight 35-7. All right, Rosenthal drops back into his end zone, looks deep, gonna try to run. He's being pursued. He flings it toward the sideline, and a great job just to avoid the sack near the goal line. And the Ridgepoint Panther, who was all over him, was Xavier Myers.
Yeah, they got plenty of guys deep. They got a man at the 40-yard line. A couple at the, let's see.
20 seconds to go.
Yep.
Didn't that play seem like it took more than 7 seconds?
It did. It did seem that way.
All right, so in the spread formation, Rosenthal is standing on his goal line. The line of scrimmage is the 5-yard line of Lamar. He drops back. He steps up. He's flushed. He's going to run it. Gets across the 10, the 15, headed for the sideline and out at the 18. The clock is down to 12 seconds. And somebody is down. I think is it Carlisle sitting there?
They got a penalty marker.
And we got a pushing and shoving match. I don't know how this started. Coach LaFavors is trying to get his guys who are not, well, I guess it's defensive players, so they all have business being out there on the field. I'm not really sure what happened. Maybe the defensive players for Ridgepoint took exception to how close Rosenthal ran to Carlisle, but Carlisle is, who expects someone to be sitting at the 15-yard line out, about 6 feet behind the boundary?
Well, there's a penalty marker that was thrown in the defensive backfield. I don't know what happened there. The flag is sitting around right on the 30-yard line. And it seems to me that the penalty is going to go against Lamar. I'm not sure what happened, but and then after I saw that flag, then all that extra stuff happened there around the 20-yard line. The 27-yard line. Got 4 officials trying to sort this thing out.
Well, if referee Mike Walzell steps up as if he's ready to say something, I'll turn it up. Here we go.
After the play, personal foul, right here. Number 0 will be offense. Half the distance over the run. Be third down.
Okay, so they called it against Kelton Weathers. It wasn't Rosenthal doing anything. It was Weathers. So even though that was a pretty good gain out to the 18 for Lamar, with 12 seconds left, they are penalized. This is not one of those runoff penalties, the mandatory 10-second runoff.
But it's certainly going to take them down inside their 10-yard line, and they got to go 91, 92 yards in 12 seconds. The odds of this happening are pretty slim.
I wonder if we'll see one of those crazy lateral plays.
Well, you're down to the point where you're going to have to try something like that.
Or the Boise State dual crossing routes from opposite sides of the field.
Well, the Panthers have, let's see, about 8 guys that are well off the line of scrimmage and very deep. The deepest man is at the 40, and then they got a couple of guys, about 4 or 5 guys hanging around the 30-yard line. So now we're going to finally get this play off. It could be the last play of the game.
Yes, we'll see just how long they can extend the play. Rosenthal gets rid of the ball, throws it to a receiver who wasn't looking back yet, and the pass falls incomplete. But that only took 3 seconds off the clock as he tried to get it to Aiden Turner. And Turner had run about 10 yards, and then he looks back and the ball is already more than halfway to him.
He didn't look like he was expecting it. And when he turned, the ball was already upon him, and he couldn't react quick enough. But had he caught it, it would have been quite a good game. And I'm not sure if he could have got out of bounds or not. But now they're really facing a tough one.
Rosenthal rolls to his right and throws it late. He's got a very short completion. He gets it to TJ Roan, who steps out at the 16-yard line. And with 3 seconds left, there's going to be one play left, but there is a penalty flag. And instead of being at the 16, they'll be a lot closer than that, half the distance to the goal penalty. So I guess it'll be at the 4.5.
Yeah, and now the Panthers got a couple of guys on the other side of the 50.
Yes.
They have 3 guys on the other side of the 50, and I would expect, as you had predicted earlier, one of those lateral, let's keep the play going type plays here. Desperation time for Lamar. Now timeout. Panthers
timeout, Ridge Point. Let's just keep it here. By the way, let's see, the defender that was farthest from the line of scrimmage, he's no longer there because they're talking about things. I think it's Ryan Ramey, 53 yards from the line of scrimmage. That's normal for a punt if Ray Guy, the ghost of Ray Guy, is punting.
Yep.
53 yards, that's a long way.
Yeah. Well, there's really no play that you can call in this situation. It's just it's just playground football right now, and hopefully you're hoping for a miracle if you're Lamar.
In our day, we could draw it in the dirt, but now you have field turf. You can't draw anything.
What do you do? Yeah, you got to
draw it on an iPad, maybe. All right, so it is Ashton Bethel Roman, who is known as a receiver, but a great athlete, obviously. He's standing back at his own 44. The line of scrimmage is the Lamar 4. They got to go 96 yards. They got 3 seconds left. This will be the last play unless there is a defensive penalty. Rosenthal 1 yard deep in his end zone, waiting for the shotgun snap. He's got it. And he throws it over to the left side. And a lateral attempt. And the Panthers recover it, and that is the ball game.
You know, I was looking at that setup, and I'm not saying that this would work, but the way the defense played there, you're almost better off just letting the quarterback do a quarterback draw or whatever, and just let him run up the field and get something started. But of course, it's still going to be a miracle play.
All right. Well, great respect. I saw Taylor Davis of Ridge Point give a hug and a handshake to Kenneth Rosenthal. Rosenthal is quite a talent. I think he showed us enough of a big arm and good mobility. He's going to have a chance to play some kind of college football somewhere.
I agree.
No doubt about that. And the two teams are walking across the field to shake each other's hands. Ridge Point will advance to play Atascocita. We're going to take a quick break and come back with a few scores that will be of interest to you on VypeFortBend.com. 14-10, Ridge Point defeats Lamar.
My husband and I live next door to a haunted graveyard. It's a little creepy, but we manage. Just like we manage without home internet. Do I wish my mobile hotspot was faster? Yes, but I make it work. Kinda. Just like we make it work sleeping next to a 17th century burial ground.
Honey, can you move your hand?
That's not my hand.
It's mine.
Not having home internet? It's not that bad. Grab my hand.
Wait, okay.
No, now up the stairs. We tried that last time. No. You can literally run through him.
It is that bad. Don't settle for just mobile. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $24.99 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and a free streaming box included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit your local Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Offer ends 12/21/22.
This VypeFortBend.com presentation of playoff football has been brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity Mobile, the best kept secret in wireless. By First Tire and Auto, 4 great Fort Bend County locations where you get the best prices on tires and anything your vehicle needs to run at its very best. Visit FirstTireAndAuto.com. By Next Level Urgent Care, more than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugar Land, Sienna, Longmeadow, Greatwood, and 4 locations in Katy. From OW to WOW, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. By Archer Volkswagen, open since 1956 and ready to serve you. Archer Volkswagen is on Highway 59 South, just inside the Sam Houston Tollway. You will feel like family at Archer Volkswagen. By Needville Insurance Agency. Put hundreds, if not thousands of dollars back in your pocket when the Needville Insurance Agency team shops all those insurance carriers and they find the lowest rate for car, home, and flood insurance. Call Bradley Stavanaugh at 979-793-7411 or click needvilleinsurance.com. And Equitable Advisors. It's never too early or too late to get with Nick Arevalo and Equitable Advisors to create a smooth, soft landing into a wonderfully comfortable retirement. Check out Equitable Advisors. And now we're going to give you some scores. So we already told you that Atascocita beat Clear Springs 35-7. So it's Ridgepoint against Atascocita next week, we presume, the day after Thanksgiving. That's usually when those games are played. The Tomball Cougars in Region 2 of the Class 6A playoffs, they upset New Caney 16-15. Tomball with a big win. C.E. King, an impressive win over Clear Falls in the 6A bracket, 30-7. C.E. King beats Clear Falls. Summer Creek is leading Shadow Creek 29-20. That's in Class 6A Division 2, I believe. 5:25 to go in the game. Summer Creek leading Shadow Creek 29-20. Fulshire is clinging to a 4-point lead over College of A&M Consolidated up there in Aggieland. Fulshire leads 42-38 over A&M Consolidated. 1:22 left in the fourth quarter. The Marshall Buffs, they did just fine. 49-7, they trounce the Waco University Trojans, and the Buffs are moving on. They are ranked second in Class 5A Division 2, and they roll on. The Hightower Hurricanes are rolling on too. It's not over yet, but they lead Houston Heights 42-21. That game being played at Delmar Stadium. 2:42 left. Hightower's going to win it. Here's a big one. Katy Cinco Ranch and Cy-Fair all tied up 10-10 with 14 seconds left in the game. North Shore pulled away from Dickinson a little bit. They lead 43-28. It's not over. 4:59 to go. North Shore is on top of Dickinson. Dickinson, a great team, but, you know, what do you do when, well, North Shore is in the way? Katy Tigers, they're the team to beat, I think, in Class 6A Division 2, and they beat Houston Memorial tonight, the Spring Branch team, the Memorial Mustangs, 62-21. And I think that's probably all I need to tell you. I am happy to tell you that the Woodlands Highlanders lead Klein Cain 62-21 with 8:32 to go. I'm happy about that because, well, I'm an original Highlander. All right, and that's it. We're done. Oh, no, there's one other. Port Neches Groves. They are in the same district with the Marshall Buffs. Good to see them probably advancing. They lead by 12 with 7:05 to go. They're playing Austin LBJ over at Rhodes Stadium just to the south of us. We can look over there and we can't see the scoreboard, but, you know, if we get all our gear packed up, I think I might go see who wins that one. All right, so for Patrick Kinnick, Len DeSilvo, and the entire team at VypeFortBend.com, we thank you for being with us. Ridgepoint had to grind it out tonight. They moved the football a lot in the second half, did not score, but they win it over Lamar by a score of 14-10. So good night, everybody, from Legacy Stadium in Katy, and we will have as many games as we can possibly bring you next week. We've got the Marshall Buffs still going, Ridgepoint Panthers still going, Hightower Hurricanes still going, and if they hang on, the Fulshear Chargers are still going. Good night and God bless from Katy.